Good afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you. Probably till about 5:30. Give it a couple hours, see what I can do. Welcome for everybody. We need to catch up. But before I catch up, and if I do it real fast, I can get through all the hellos in about a minute and a half because it's only a few people here so far. So let's get it going. Erica Hummins, first out the gate, representing Reading. Good afternoon, Erica. Thank you for checking us out. DeAndre Crosby in the house. He's first on Facebook. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for checking us out. Daryl Carpenter, you are not daydreaming. It's 3:30 on a Monday, and I'm here. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Let's see. Veronica Burdine. Good afternoon. She's representing College Hill. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. And Sierra Brooks in the house. Good afternoon, Sierra Brooks. I appreciate you guys. We got Daryl says, nice hoodie. Thank you. Thank you. It's October. And I ain't been on much in October, so I got to get it in. I got to get them in. Mary Birch Lavender, she says, howdy to everyone and howdy to you as well, Mary Birch Lavender. Now, I'm going to give it about a minute, and then we're moving on from the hellos. It's kind of not fair because I haven't been here and I haven't been consistent, but now that I'm back, that's right, I'm back. Now that I'm back, you know what I'm saying, you gotta set a standard. Like if you get here early and I say hello to you, but if you're showing up 10 minutes late, you gotta, lay out the rules. That's right. Batman in the house, Danny B. Dozier representing Westwood. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Mary Bird says she's not speaking to me. Oh my goodness. What did I do? What did I do to you? Some people could say I did some stuff, but what did I do to you? We got Batman. Thank you, and for checking out the show. I appreciate you. DeAndre says, I was first, sir. You were second. You were first on Facebook, but Erica beat you in. She's on YouTube, and she got in before you did. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. LaDonna in the house, representing East Price Hill. Good afternoon, LaDonna. Got Lonzo Clark. Say what up? Welcome back. Did your brother meet up with Lindsay yet for their greeting session? I might talk about that a little bit. I don't know. I haven't heard from him when I really think about it. So I don't know. I have to give him a call. You're glad I'm no longer shunning the Black podcast community. Sometimes you gotta finish stuff. I had to finish. I had to finish strong. And so that last week, I'm sorry. It was a lot of studying and all of that kind of stuff for the final and other projects that he had us doing. And you got to do what you got to do. But I'm finished now. Now comes the hard part, finding a job. Y'all know the job market is not good out here? Y'all know that? We might talk about that a little bit. Valisa Lovett, representing Blue Ash. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yeah, people are late because Twins still crashing out on Wyatt. Yeah, I was listening. I was going to come on at 3, but Wyatt was on. He was still going strong. And y'all know I don't like to step on my brother's toes or nothing like that. So, I pushed it back to 3:30, but I can't, because I know, he been on till like 4:30 some days. I can't push it back to 4:30. I have other stuff to do. Let's see. Jacqueline Carter, our own Wonder Woman here, says, afternoon, everyone. She's representing Evanston. Good afternoon, Jacqueline Carter. Good afternoon. Lamont Jones in the house. He says, grand day, powerful, royal people. I'm going to call Dr. Chantel Thomas. I'm going to ask her, why is it that when he types that, I literally see the word purple and I almost read the word purple. I, I don't like, yeah, I think I'm just saying that, but I literally see the word purple. It is hard for me to read that. I have to stop, pause, and read each individual word, because if I just try to blow through it, the word purple is there. It's got to be something mental. Maybe I need to go and hang out with Kevin Farmer for a minute. But thank you for checking us out, Lamont Jones. Lewis Talbert in the house says, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Lewis Talbert. Good afternoon. DeAndre wants to know, when is your graduation? I don't think they do a ceremony. I don't think they do any sort of a ceremony. So, and even if they did, I wouldn't go. There's no ceremony to the best of my knowledge. If it is, I wasn't invited to it. No, they have so many different, because they do a few different programs there, and they would just be having a graduation like every other month or something like that. So, no graduation. Let me see. Nate got an invite for an Unalive You party from Lindsay. Sierra says, congratulations, thank you. Jacqueline says, congratulations, thank you, guys. Steban Speed in the house representing Westwood. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. We got LaDonna in the house. She hopes that he stays over there. I'm not going to say the bad stuff about people. Nat Turner in the house. He says, good Monday. Good Monday to you as well. Good Monday to you as well. Wonder Woman says, I like that sweatshirt. Thank you. Thank you. These were the sweatshirts that we did last year. Did the white with the pink and the pink with the gray. It might not look like it, but it's actually gray. The pink with the gray. And we were able to, I had the ceremonial check that we created somewhere, but we did the ceremonial check for the organization up in, was it Akron? Up in Akron. Yeah, I know everybody don't listen to him, but I respect the brother. I get you don't care for him and all that kind of stuff, but I respect the brother, and I know that there's a lot of crossover. Dwayne Larkin, good afternoon. He's representing Mount Airy. DeAndre say you're dyslexic. It's not this dyslexic. I can't even say dyslexic. Maybe I am. I can't even say the word. I don't think it's dyslexia. I don't know what it is. I need to talk to a professional. Janice Evans. She says, good day, everyone. Representing Mainville. All right, Mainville in the house. Good afternoon. I didn't hear him this morning on Lincoln Ware. I actually got an opportunity to sleep in. I was woke by the time Lincoln Ware came on, but I was just relaxing. Me and Mrs. Livingston was talking, having a good time. I didn't even check out Lincoln's show till later. Darnell Hunter says purple. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Darnell Hunter. Good afternoon. We got Brenda Bird in the house. Says hello all. Hello, Brenda. Good to see you. Good to see you. I can't really see that picture. Is that a picture of you? Cause on here, one of these days I'm gonna show y'all what I see and how everything goes. But is that a picture of you in that thumbnail, Brenda? If it is, I like the hair. It's really tiny, so I can't really see it, but it looks like a beautiful woman with gray, like silver gray hair. You know you old. You know you old when you looking at a woman with nice silver gray hair and you like, ooh, I like that. That was when I was a young man. I didn't want to look at no woman with no gray, old ass without that gray hair. I didn't want to look at her old ass. But I see a woman with some nice gray hair now. I'm like, that's kind of sexy. Because it's natural. You know, I like that natural thing. So I like the gray hair. E has purple issues. Do you see purple when you see my name? I do not. I do not, Mary. Edward Bentley. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I see Edward Bentley in the house. Tanika says, E-Man, good afternoon. She's representing beautiful Orlando, Florida. And no, we're not beefing yet. Tanika, you are still my friend. Because we hitting, 74, 75 degrees. No, we still cool. We still cool. I feel a rift coming, but we not there yet. So let's just focus on the now. Let's focus on the now. Tanika, good afternoon. Maria Smith in the house representing North College Hill. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Got Linda Evans in the house. Hey, what's up, Linda Evans? Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for checking us out. Derek Woods from McDonough, Georgia. Oh, all right. I was not even aware there was a McDonough, Georgia. I'm not all that familiar. Geography and all that kind of stuff was not my thing. Like right now, I'm a little bit embarrassed to say this. So maybe I shouldn't say it, but you know, I try to be transparent with y'all. Right now, if you gave me one of them blank maps of the United States and told me to fill in all of the states, I would probably get about 20, 25-ish. The rest of them, I have idea where they are generally. But, you know, I'm not sure. Some of them I can kind of tell by shape. But if you didn't have a shape on there and you like, where is, I couldn't tell you. Like, I know the shape of Idaho, but where is Idaho? I have a general idea of where it is on the map, but even that could be wrong. I'm not all that good. The further west you go, the worse I do. I'm embarrassed to say that. Ronald Dixon says, we Ron in the house. All right, we Ron. Carolyn Smith. She says, hey, Emanuel, hey. And she says, hey to everyone. So y'all say hey to her. Jerika in the house. She says, you're here. Hola, mi familia. Hola to you too. Andrea Bustle says, welcome back. Good afternoon. She's representing Gulf Manor. Thank you. Good afternoon. Tanika says, I wore my AXP hoodie every morning for the cooler days down here. I'm doing it again this year. All right. And just bring awareness, because that's what it's about. Bringing awareness. Ladies, check them. I can say it because it's for a good cause. Check them titties. Make sure them titties is fine. They ain't all bumpy and stuff. Like, you know, lumps and stuff in them. If they like bumpy right around that, that's okay. But, you know, make sure you ain't got lumps and stuff. Check them. Check them. Men. This is the weird part. Because men. Men. I got an uncle who had breast cancer. He survived. He's still with us. But I got an uncle who had breast cancer. Men. Check them things out. Make sure ain't no crazy bumps and lumps and stuff up in there. I know I'll be working out. That's muscle. That might not be muscle, bro. Get it checked out. And that's what this is all about. That's what the pink is all about. Just raising awareness. You know, when you see pink and that ribbon, hopefully you think breast cancer, and maybe you think, I haven't done a self-check in a while, or I haven't had what do they call it? I'm sorry. What do they call it? I can't, I'm like 87, like, what's his face? But yeah, so thank you for wearing it. Thank you for wearing it. Because, of course, that was what it was all about. Regina Denson Griffin says, good afternoon. She's representing Kenwood. All right. Candy D in the house. Candy D representing Coleraine Township. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Breast exams. Mammogram. Thank you. Thank you, Jerica. I couldn't think of the word mammogram. Let's see. I think that's about it. Those are all of the. Scroll through. Crystal Hoskins in the house, representing the Christ Hospital. Good afternoon, Crystal Hoskins. Good afternoon. Dina Johnson says, hey, King and Afternoon Experiment family. She's representing Walnut Hills. It is good to see you. She's an angel. Daryl says, gray hair on a black woman is beautiful to see. Yes, it is. Derek Wood says, south of Atlanta. Okay. All right. And Dina says, I wore my pink hoodie Saturday. All right. And I'm glad y'all are wearing them. I'm glad. Jacqueline says states and state capitals. I might remember a number of those, but just in terms of where they are on a map, be difficult. I'm sorry, I'm trying to scroll through. Daryl says, hey, y'all, I got some, I'm assuming, wonderful news I want to share with y'all, but I don't know if I should tell y'all. First, do y'all want me to share the news? Now, I'm a little late. Y'all might already say that he might already share the news. Bengals, which is the one that y'all say sound like Brent. James Benta says, get your notification fixed. All right, I'll work on that. I will work on that. Oh, let me see. Nate says, I'm here representing Toledo. How long y'all been on? Oh, you still with us? I did hear today when you got a similar invitation to mine, even though I felt like my invitation was more personalized. Yours was more general. So I feel like I got you beat in that category. Came on at about 3:30, and I'm still saying hello. Daryl says, definitely get them titties checked. Yes. And Linda says, men, check your breasts also. Yeah, I was getting there. Everybody threw it out there. I was getting there to the men. Jacqueline says, my mother passed from breast cancer. Same here. And that's a part of why I always want to raise awareness so that, people know and are proactive. Are you still selling those hoodies? I'm not, but I might pick it back up. I didn't. I stopped selling them, stopped making them because I was really just doing it for that charity. But I might pick it back up. Now, I know a few people, in web development, because I didn't just want I'm not even going to go into it. The site might be coming sooner than I thought, even though I know last year this time it was late because I had said the end of September. So let's not even talk about the site no more. Let's not even talk about it. Hi, this is Edsel, loving the show. He's representing Beavis/Grossbeck. All right. Thank you for checking us out. Sierra says, what's your new show schedule? Well, I was going to be here at 3, but like I said, I saw Wyatt was still on and he was still going strong. And, he had some stuff that he was discussing. I didn't want to step on his toes, but I think I'm gonna probably start 3 to 5 till I find a job. And then once I find a job, we'll see what happens. So hopefully for the next maybe 2 weeks, 3 to 5. Of course, unless something come up and I got to go pick up little baby or something like that, then, maybe 3:30. But yeah, 3 to 5. Dina says, I love the hoodies. Will you be selling them again? Oh, maybe. I mean, you're the second person. If a few people either say they want them, they want me to, sell them, maybe come up with a new design or something like that, then sure, I will. I'm not against it. I can do it. I just didn't feel like there was any sort of demand for them, but I can. If enough people say they want them, I'll make some more and sell them, come up with a new design, and we can do it again. And hopefully we can also do a donation because just for the breast cancer one, I don't want that to be a thing where, man, you're making money off of breast cancer. No. I want any proceeds from that to go to help breast cancer organizations. So if enough people say they want them, then yes, I will. High five on your north, south, east, and west directions. I'm not sure what that means. See, I'm looking at a map. When I say west, I'm looking at the map. So from your perspective, it might be, and I'm not, I'm what do they call? I'm traumatized. Because somebody on this platform, if someone gives you a compliment on this side of it, you never know if it's a real compliment or if it's a backhanded compliment. Like, yeah, that was a good job on knowing north, south, east, and west. And that could be saying, oh, north, south, east, and west. Or that could be saying, oh, you made a mistake and you said west was this way when it's actually that way. But for me, if I'm looking at a map, it's actually that way. But from y'all looking, it might not be. So if it was a compliment, all right. If not, sell me one of them sweatshirts. Let me see. Daryl says, the news I want to share is nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. What? Okay, that sounds like a commercial. I don't know what you're talking about. Dina says, let's pick another charity. I'm all for that. Jerica says, great hours, Monday through Friday. That's the plan. I had to drop all of those other commitments that I had where I was, doing something on Mondays and doing something else on Tuesday. I do still have a Tuesday, but that's at 7:00. So I would have time to finish and do what I have to do. So yeah, Monday through Friday is the plan. Men check prostate and men check prostate, women and men, and colon as well. I think you're saying men get your prostate checked. I'm not saying you can't do it yourself. But as a man, it's certain stuff. I wouldn't even know what. And I don't know that I could. Physically, I don't know that I could. I guess I probably could. Mentally, I'm certain that I could not check my own prostate. Mentally, I'm certain that I could not check my own prostate. Maybe there are some men who can and some men who would enjoy it. But mentally, I couldn't check my own prostate. Get your prostate checked by a professional. And by professional, I mean a physician. A physician. Because I'm sure there's some men running around here talking about, I can check it. I'm a professional. No, not that. No. A physician, men, get your prostate checked. And women and men, get your colon checked. Because again, that's not a self-exam, I don't think. I don't think I could do a self-colon exam. But I get your point, Stephanie. It's a good point. Those are things. But because it's October and it's breast cancer awareness, that's why I was talking about just doing the self-check. Crystal says, I love my hoodie, but I washed it. So now the lettering has a matte grayish look. Yeah, so did mine. LaDonna says, I want one also, man. Okay. Linda says, so you're done with schooling? Yes. I'll get into it in a minute. Jacqueline says, I'll buy a couple. All right. So what? So we doing this? We doing this? We doing this again? All right. Give me until Wednesday and let me put something together. Last time was just a little chaotic. Oh, hold on. Hello? All right. Sorry about that. When Mrs. Livingston called, I had to answer. You never know if it's an emergency. You never know. But, I was saying, yeah, last time was a little bit chaotic. I didn't have everything in place. That was very much spur of the moment. This time I'm going to try to put some things in place and do it a little more orderly, even though it still feel like a little spur of the moment. But give me a couple days, and we'll see what we can do. Because Valisa, Nick Brown says, I want a hoodie. Crystal says, I want another one. Valisa says, I would like to purchase a hoodie. So Candy D says, I want one. So it sounds like we doing this. All right. Are you still in your new band? Yes, which is Tuesdays. So I go to the rehearsal. Now, I'm not actually singing in the band yet. I know that sounds weird, but, they have a number of songs and me getting and learning the songs. I'm not trying to get up there and, be looking ridiculous and just moving my lips. And I don't know the words and all that kind of stuff. So it's a process of integrating myself with the band. But yes, I am still with the band. I am. Daryl says, I'll believe it when I see it. You're talking about the site. That's why I said, let's not talk about it. Let's not talk about the site. And Daryl says, prostate tests are done with blood tests. Yeah, they do PS? Whatever. Yeah, they do blood tests now. They don't, or at least I haven't had a digital rectal exam in years. They check it and they check the blood and all of that kind of stuff. So, yes. Hold on, Crystal says, I have awesome news and I'm so very excited. I was admitted into the Christ College of Nursing to obtain my BSN. All right. Look, y'all don't understand. I celebrate people doing things. If you're doing something, whatever it is you want to do, I'm not even gonna say to better yourself, because that don't make you a better person. But it's something that you want to do. I celebrate that. Yes. So congratulations. Congratulations. Stephanie, I know. I'm behind y'all. I gotta catch up. I'm reading all of this stuff. Keep going, keep going, keep going. I'm skipping some comments, y'all. Daryl says, are you going to do a different breast cancer awareness design? I think I'm going to have to. So, yes, I'm going to do a different design. I got a few days to come up with something. So we'll see what happens. Jerica say she get a hoodie this time, so I can't talk about her. Ronald says, so you just basically be an E-man. I'm contributing as I progress into, the band and all that kind of stuff and kind of integrate. I'm contributing other talents. I do a few other things that's helpful and beneficial. So that's that. All right. Let me get this out the way. I'm finished with school. I finished that program. I do got Stephanie says, I know you skipped mine. I know Stephanie. Stephanie says she didn't mean literally, she was saying go to the doctor. So, yes. I can't, we don't do that anymore. It doesn't do that anymore. I forget, I did something and I shut off that thing. I'll have to go in and figure out how to turn it back on from time to time. But yeah, I'm finished with that program. I do have to do a little bit of studying to take, the CompTIA, multiple CompTIA exams, and a few other different certifications and all of that kind of stuff. So, I'm still studying all of that stuff. But as it stands right now, my full-time job is finding a job. That's my full-time job. And so that's what it is. And, hopefully it won't be too long. I'm talking to the different people who they got mad at me at the school, the career people, because they didn't wanted me to start applying for jobs, at least a month or so ago. And I was like, nah, I'm good. I really just want to focus on class, learning, and all of that kind of stuff. But I'll tell you what everybody is like, I've applied for 100 jobs and haven't gotten a call back yet. I've applied for this and haven't gotten a call back yet. And the job market is apparently really bad out there. According to a number of the people that I'm talking to, in this field and in other fields. Apparently the job market is really bad. And, adding a government shutdown doesn't necessarily help employers want to hire, because it's not going to be great for the economy. So, and we don't do what we do though. Well, I don't worry about it. I'm not concerned about it. It's going to happen. And, hey, when it happens, I'll be cool. So that's pretty much it for that. Twin says job market not bad. Again, I don't want to say this in a way that sounds demeaning to anyone. I think I could probably go, down to the White Castle over here and get a job. I might be able to, run the Kroger and get a job. But, I'm talking to a number of recruiters and I forget what the other title is for the other people, through the different services and whatnot. And it's not a good job market. I think if I wanted to go to Walgreens, I might be able to, get hired tomorrow. And that might have to happen, you know what I'm saying? As I do applications to find, work in this new field, again, with no experience, because, that plays a factor. So with no experience. But, yeah, no, the job market's kind of tight out there. It's kind of tight out there. And I'm not saying that, like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you, like, yeah, Kroger, it ain't bad. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying trying to get your foot in another field, you have no experience, and, it's not somewhere where you just walk in and say, can I get an application? That's a little more difficult. I like the days of, can I get an application? But it don't work that way in some fields. It don't work that way in some fields. And yeah, the job market is tight. Ron says, why don't you just start your own business or look and see what you can do to start your own business? Well, I mean, even just because I get on, which my path will be to get on with a company and work, get some experience, learn, more, and hopefully grow within that company. And then if I need to move to a different company, whatever. But I can do that at the same time. I can freelance. If I didn't learn nothing after getting fired from the buzz, that taught me that freelancing is not as scary as it seems. When you out there with no job and you have to do what you have to do, it's you get used to taking the skills that you have and marketing them to people and basically saying, I can do that for this much money. Hey, you need that done? I'll do that. I'll do a great job and you'll pay me that much money. There ain't necessarily no insurance in that. But in terms of being able to make it, pay bills, eat, and, grow in that way. So, yeah, being able to take a new set of skills and build something is something that I'm looking at as well. Ron says, that's why I would have assumed you would have started your own. And maybe I'm just one of those people. But it's like you don't, at least I'm not sure. I don't think you come right out of dental school and start your own, come right out of medical school. Like there are things that you have to do. What do they call it when the doctors go and they work as doctors and not really get paid a lot of money and all of that kind of stuff for a few years as they're actually learning the craft, even though they went to school? They still have to do, it's not an internship. It's not an internship. It's not clinicals. I don't know why I'm thinking the word clinicals. No, it is kind of an internship, Andrea, but that's not what residency. Thank you, Samuel. Yeah. So you don't just come out of medical school and haven't done any residency or anything and just Hey, I'm starting a business. I'm a doctor. Like, no, there's still, even though you know this stuff in theory, you got to put it into practice for a minute to kind of get good, find out the way things go, deal with a little something here and there. And then you go and you become a full-time doctor. Tanika says clinicals are for nurses. Maybe that's why I was thinking about clinicals. But yeah, you have to do your residency work, if I'm saying that right. And it's kind of the same thing. I know some stuff in theory. I've, built some virtual machines and actually wrote a virus and did a little bit of hacking and, set up a seam and all that kind of stuff. I'm good on packet tracer and whatnot. But you don't necessarily want me to come over and be your network administrator tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get in there and you learn how things work. There's a whole lot of stuff involved in this. I'm starting my own business. Tomorrow, you can hire me. Yeah. You need a little more on-the-job training, as they say. Let's see. We got this shutdown going on. And here's the biggest thing that I've seen on the news today is these hostages getting released. Biggest things I've seen is these hostages getting released. And, a lot of people are giving Trump credit. People are giving Trump credit. I'm going to say I'm no expert in Middle East politics and all of that kind of stuff. They apparently have some sort of a ceasefire and they've agreed to release some hostages on both sides. It is striking to me that they are really focusing on the hostages that Hamas is releasing, but Israel released some hostages too. I believe I saw a whole busload of people getting, out of a bus. And they're like, these are the hostages that, the Palestinian hostages that Israel released. Like, why ain't we talking about the fact that Israel had hostages too for a minute? Why? Nobody want to talk about that. They showing pictures and reporters on air crying. And it was for real. It was about a 30-second flash of, and this is a busload of hostages, Palestinian hostages that were released too. And they just getting out of a bus, and it looked like a big town square, and it looked like about 10,000 people in the town square greeting their people, but no heartwarming stories about them. They had heartwarming stories about the hostages that Hamas was releasing. Again, I'm not saying that I'm some virtuoso in the geopolitical environment over there in the Middle East or anything like that. That don't necessarily seem like fair coverage. And I truly believe that we get the side of the story. Like, when people talk about propaganda, I believe we get a lot of propaganda. And again, just seeing it, I don't even think it strikes a lot of people. Stephanie says crying, not crying. It's crying. It's been crying since I was 6. So it's crying. Ron says Israel released over 200 hostages or terrorists they had in jail. You think they're going to let them go home and not bomb the S out of them if they can grab them in one fell swoop? They prove what they willing and can do. Nobody say anything about it. All right. But Okay. They got a little ceasefire. I believe I was watching Benjamin Netanyahu, and he was basically saying, okay, we got this little ceasefire, but we still got some military operations that, we're going to be doing. How is it a ceasefire if you are standing up in front of the world saying, yeah, we know it's a ceasefire, but we still about to go kill some of them? What? Nat says Biden got way more Israeli hostages, over 100, released from captivity with his November 2023 ceasefire than Trump did with his. But Dems don't market their wins the same way. All right. So, but that's the biggest thing on the news right now. That's what's going on. I was watching, because, I don't get a chance to watch the Sunday morning programs. And I'm so frustrated because I got a chance to watch the interview with George Stephanopoulos and the dude with the eyeliner, Vance. Can I just say I loved that? And I might decide that that's the way I'm going to do stuff here, maybe moving forward. I might decide that that's the way I'm going to do stuff. If I ask you a question, I'm going to ask you the question a few times. And then if you don't want to answer the question, I'm going to just say, hey, I asked you such and such question and you didn't answer. And then just move on. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't know why more news anchors or more journalists, TV journalists, don't do that. It's always frustrated me when they ask them questions 2, 3, 4 times and they don't answer. Man, if you ain't gonna answer my questions, what you doing here? Get off my air. Now, Tim Russert, Meet the Press. I used to love, he didn't kick him off the air. But what he used to do is he would ask a question, I think about 3 times. He would ask the question. They would dance around the question. He would ask the question again. They would dance around the question. He'd say, I've asked you this question 2 times. I'm going to ask this one more time. They would not answer the question. He would say, all right, I asked you the question. You didn't answer it. Let's move on to something else. I always appreciated that about him, but I like what George Stephanopoulos did. I mean, even though it was clearly, because you saw that J.D. Vance hit all of the Sunday morning news programs. So they didn't have much time with him. It's not like he could have kept him there for as long as they wanted him to be there and asking him about all of these different things. So his time was just about up. But I love the fact that he said, hey, I make no assumptions or insinuations. I asked this question. You didn't answer it. We're going to move on to something else and go to commercial. I enjoyed that thoroughly. I'm in the middle of talking. Well, I didn't say. He's out here. I would love to see them do that more on both sides. I asked you a question. And so I wish they would do that when they have those hearings in the House and the Senate. I wish they would do that. They never actually answer questions. It's the most frustrating. And I know they think, oh, I'm being clever. Oh, I'm evading the question. Oh, I'm spinning this and that. But as one of the American people that they always talking about, as one of the American people, I don't like that. I want to hear you actually answer the questions that are posed to you. Finding a good way to spin out of answering the question is not good politics to me. But that's what they do. Uh, I think if I'm up there, I'm in Congress, I'm asking a question, and I'm asking whatever the question is. Did you eat tacos yesterday? And you start talking about the virtues of vegetables. That wasn't my question. If you're not going to answer the question, like somebody just said, just say you're not going to answer the question. But don't try to spin me. Say I'm not going to answer. You don't have to talk for 5 minutes to say you're not going to answer it. Say you're not going to answer it. And then we can end this whole charade. Leave. I don't know. It's crazy. Ron says, can we talk about something other than national political news? It's just so tiring right now. Why do you say it's tiring right now? But, okay, what else did you want to talk about? You aliens or something like that? Universal political news? Like political news from other parts of the universe? I'm not sure. You tell me what you want to talk about, and we'll see if we can pivot. Nat says, all they do now is trash the network and call them far left liberals. If you ride with Republicans, you're either dumb or greedy. And Dante said, why not just say I'm not going to answer that question? Next question, please. Vernon says, just don't do it to Twones. I need him crashing out on a daily basis. And then Ron said, but they do it on both sides. They're going to continue to do it. We just have to weed through all the B and come to common ground as people before it's too late. I never said they didn't do it on both sides. You might be caught up on this side and that side. As a matter of fact, I said both sides do it. So I think both sides should actually answer questions. Stephanie say, not answering questions is the first skill politicians learn. It's what they do best. And we, as people, as citizens, should not accept it. We do, which I guess is why they continue to do it. But I don't like it. Bonita Gaines say, Twin isn't going to like your new rules. And you said you're going to hang up on him. Ron say, let's talk about our local elections. Those are very important, and it's beginning to look like a shift in the politics. All right, call in. Let's talk about it. Call in. Tria in the house. Tria say, hey, King and friends, what did I miss? Nothing. Somebody doesn't want to talk about the Epstein files or Republican shutdown of the government or invasion of multiple cities. I didn't necessarily want to say that because I'm trying to, give people the benefit of the doubt. He might just want to talk about local politics. And if that's what it is, then I'm very open to listening to his views on it. And look, as a general rule, if you want to talk about something, the number's on the bottom of the screen. You can see it kind of going by down here. The number's on the bottom of the screen. 513-717-KING. 513-717-5464. That's the number to get on board. Brent in the house, I see you. Vernon say, I can't see Ron's comments. All right. Ron.
What up, man?
Hey, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. Um, the shutdown. So since I don't know who made the statement. I just heard what you said. Um, it talking about all the government stuff. Hey, the government is trying or is shut down because all of the politicians want to go ahead and keep their pockets lined because the insurance companies are not trying to give the concessions that Trump is trying to tell them to give, or they're not giving it without they're not giving it up without a fight. It's all about insurance companies. It's above my pay grade.
Hold on,
It's
just
above your pay grade.
Ron.
It's above your pay grade. Wait a minute. Just let me finish what I'm saying because I
Oh,
don't want
that's
you
right. You
to
do have to
do this stick man argument that you always do. You know
stick man.
that's the hang up on the um um what is it the health care plus plus it won't nobody be honest, but your premiums went up when Obamacare kicked in. Your employer premiums went up. Everybody's employee premiums went up. I was in. I was.
That's not
I
true.
was working
That's not
at
true.
Humana at the time.
But what
It's all
I'm telling
about
you that what
money.
you're saying
So that
is
okay,
not true.
okay, all right, okay, okay. So that's my opinion. So that's
Okay.
that's my opinion, and you know
Well,
that
let me just hold on, Ron.
they
Let me
okay,
Ron, hold
okay,
on. Let me jump in here. Let me say
all right.
first, there is no part of me that believes that Donald Trump is trying to get the American people's insurance premiums down. He don't care about that.
No,
And hold on,
okay, all right.
let me
I said
finish. Let
okay.
me finish.
I said okay. Go ahead.
And and I think to assert that uh, he was supposed to have a plan. He even said he had concepts of a plan,
He didn't have a
but
plan. He didn't have a plan. He doesn't have a plan. Go ahead.
he said he had concepts of a plan, and
He don't have a concept of a plan. He
right.
don't have a plan. The government shut down. Now what?
And so now we move forward with a shutdown government and
Yes,
acknowledge
yes. We move forward.
can I finish and acknowledge
Mm-hmm.
the failures of Donald Trump and the Republicans as they try to push this off
Okay,
on any.
Donald
Hold
Trump
on,
is a failure. Donald Trump
let
is
me
a
finish the
failure.
sentence, bro. Let me finish the
Okay, go
sentence.
ahead.
Can I finish the sentence?
Go ahead.
And we acknowledge the
All right.
failures of Donald Trump and don't pretend like
Okay.
we're acknowledging them by
Okay.
just kind of sarcastically or shoot, what's the other word begin with an
No,
F
it's
that you're doing?
bullshit because you you
No,
you
what's the
didn't
other
even
word that begin
acknowledge
with an F that you're
insurance
actually
companies.
doing?
Insurance companies been ripping us off for years, but you don't want to admit that the
No,
insurance
insurance
lobbyists
companies have definitely
are
been ripping us off for
behind the
years.
government shutdown. That lets me know you don't know nothing about politics.
No, the
Go ahead.
insurance companies have definitely been ripping us off for years. Um, who said that they hadn't? But the idea that the Republicans and or Donald Trump is the one trying to stop them from ripping us off, it's just not true.
Okay, okay. The government is shut down.
Hmm.
Republicans, it's the Republicans' fault. It's the Republicans' fault.
Yeah,
Where we go from
it's a little
here?
bit of both of their
Where,
fault,
where
but
we, where, well, okay. Well, if it's both of their fault, where we go from here?
we
See, that,
again
you know,
first thing
that see,
first thing
okay.
we do is we acknowledge it that you know some of y'all
Uh,
some of y'all who uh thought that this guy was gonna come in and be some magic bullet and fix. Did he hang up? He hung up. Thought that this guy was gonna come in and be some sort of a magic bullet and fix everything. um, y'all gotta acknowledge y'all was wrong. Y'all got to acknowledge that he jacking stuff up left and right. He's trying to take away freedoms, America's freedoms. Y'all think, I mean, I guess if I'm making a lot of money, then I might think the economy was doing great too. Hello, caller.
Yeah, what's up, E man? What you doing today, man? This is Weed Ron, goddamn it. What's up?
How you doing, Ron?
Oh man, I'm good. Hold on.
You're aggressive today.
How you doing? What you want to talk about, man?
You called me. What you want to talk about?
Shit, it'd be a wide range of shit. You know, it don't make I don't know. Really ain't got nothing to say. How was work today?
I'm unemployed.
You did say that, but you stay busy, so you ain't unemployed.
Well, I don't have a conventional job, and today I've just been spending time looking at available jobs in my new field. What's going on with you?
Right now, I'm on my last little break before I clock out, and I'll be checking out the show. I respect you. I like your show, man. I like it. It's pretty nice. I like your brother too. Y'all very, informational. That's the word I'm looking for. But I ain't really got nothing. Just calling in and hope Twin read a book. I'm so sick of that nigga, man. You hear me? I don't understand how somebody could be that fucking stupid. They had to make him up somewhere, right?
No, he's not made up. Let me say, I don't think he's stupid. I think he's ignorant, but I don't think he's stupid.
What's the difference?
Ignorant
I
just
think
means
if you stupid, you know. But if you're ignorant, you may not know. But if you're stupid, you know.
I don't think
Yay, nay?
Yeah, I don't think he's stupid. I think he's ignorant about a number of things.
Well, he need help. I know him. I used to work with him. I meet up with him. We can sit and talk, because I just really want to know what the fuck going on. I ain't got it all together, but I ain't all out there like that neither.
Ron, may I ask you a question? It's personal. What job field do you work in?
I'm a maintenance man. I'm a maintenance tech right now. I got finished doing robots up at another place I used to work at. A couple of little fields, I always had me a job.
And
I always
they
had
let
my
you
own.
and they let you come to work,
Nah, I don't be high when I go to work.
But you said you about to clock back in. So you telling me you're not high right now?
No.
Really?
No.
Oh. Okay. These sound like high man thoughts, but, okay.
No. No, I'm not.
Do you know who you voting for city council? Do you live in Cincinnati?
Yeah, I got to make sure I'm registered. I'm going to go up there tomorrow. I don't know. I've been listening. I'm going to check it out. I think we need a little change up in there. We'll see. I've been looking at it, but I definitely vote. That's for sure.
All right. You're not sure. I mean, like, do you have one or two where you like, I know I'm voting for these two, these three, these four, but I ain't sure about, do you?
Jan can get one from me. If Scotty Punk ass gonna run, he'll get one. I like Steph. I'm gonna check him out. And I like Lakita. They can have the rest of the shit.
Okay. All right. And you sure you're not high? You certain? You're 100% certain you're not high right now?
Oh, shit. How many times are you high? How many times you gonna ask me that question?
This only the second time.
No, I'm not.
Okay. How many times did you think I've asked you that question?
A couple motherfuckers.
Oh, all right. Well, Ron, you got
All right.
anything else?
Oh yeah. This is the defense the Bengals need. TA ain't gave up no points in 9 games. TA all day.
I don't know
Y'all
what
say about that Tab.
I don't know what TA means.
Tab, you know exactly what TA means.
No,
Knock it off.
I really don't. What is tab?
What?
What is
Oh,
tab?
that's right. You went to Aiken. That's right. You went to Aiken. That's right. I expect. Okay.
And I'm supposed to know what tab is? What is tab? For real?
Quit playing. Taft High School, Emanuel Lewis.
Oh, Taft. I thought you said tab. T-A-B.
I said, nah, don't put me in. No. I said Taft, nigga.
I didn't.
Brother.
What? Okay.
All right, I got to clock out later.
All right.
All right.
I thought he said tab. Forgive me. But I thought the brother said tab. So Taft is looking good this year. I'll have to be honest. I don't really follow much high school football. I haven't lately. But apparently Taft is looking good this year. All right. All right. That was Ron. Yeah, I bet they are as well, Dita. Vernon say this explains many black voters don't start thinking about whether or not they're registered until after the deadline to register. And Shirley says Taft senators, class of 80. All right. Y'all, was it just me or did he sound high? He sound high. I just, but what do I know? What do I know? Oh, hold on. Let me say something. I was listening to Wyatt Live. Now I know some of y'all don't listen to Wyatt. He was having a discussion about a couple of things, actually. Well, one of the things he was discussing was, how parents treat the people who their children are dating when they come over. And I heard him talking to Alethea, and Alethea was saying that she grills, I guess, her daughter's boyfriends when they come over. Can I say, I don't know that that's a good idea, people. It sounds good. I never went over a young lady's house, but that's not true. It happened once. But typically, instead of grilling somebody, I'm going to give them the fifth degree and I'm this and that. How about just talking to them? Just have a regular conversation with them. If your daughter, your son brings someone over to the house to meet you, just talk to them. Try to get to know them. It might sound good, though I grill them. That might sound good, but I don't necessarily know that that's a good thing. How about just be respectful to them and have a conversation with them? Maybe try to get to know them a little bit. Don't judge them based on how they look, because that's not really your call. Don't judge them based on how they dressed, because that really don't say nothing except for the fashion choice for that day. How about we normalize talking to people, trying to get to know them. I know it sounds weird, but can we try that for a little bit? Now, it's something about, let me get to CK, and then I'll finish that thought. CK.
Yes, sir. How are you doing, sir?
CK, I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Man, fantastic. Like I'm beginning to I interpreted what you was telling me a few months ago about every day is like the best day of your life. I'm starting to it manifested to me. I'm like, I know what his ass talking about now.
What did I
Yes,
say?
I got that. No, you said I was like, how you doing? And like, I'll be like, this was the best time. You be like, every day I wake up, is like, you be like, today is better than like 10 years ago. Like every day is better. You had something, you told me something like that a few months ago.
Okay, I don't
Or
remember
maybe you was,
saying that, but all right.
do you believe it? Maybe you was lying, so you must be a composer because you definitely told me that. I was like, whoa, that's how you
Look, just
feel?
because I don't remember saying it, don't mean I don't remember saying that. But I do feel like,
But that's a
look,
belief.
but I do feel like every day is a good day. You wake up, you get an opportunity to live and be and do. I feel like every day is a good day. I just don't ever remember saying that, especially like that. But if it meant something to you, I'm glad that it helped you.
Yeah, I mean, now I could interpret it to you the way probably better than you told me. But basically, being alive today makes it better than any day because shit, I done been through everything. You know what I mean? And the day is whoa. Really, we don't have no past, no future. We only have now. But back to what you were saying about when you said when the children brings their date home, like a boyfriend or girlfriend home, don't grill them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that soliloquy that you went on before you took my call was excellent, and that's why they call you the king of talk. That made sense on so many dimensions.
Okay.
Because, sir, like you said, all I got is to respect you when you walk through the house. Don't grill me because, like you said, you treat that person as if it was you, Livingston. Hold on, who the fuck you think you talk? I might be a teenager, but I do deserve respect. Just because I'm dating your daughter don't mean you just gonna look down on me, partner. Because we can both get into some gangster shit. I don't play that. I'm not gonna be intimidated by nobody. You know what I mean? Not no father, not no mother, not no brothers, nobody. So respect is greeted with respect. Violence is met with violence. So treat me the way you want to be treated, Livingston. So I think your soliloquy was right on point, sir.
I
Right
agree
on
with,
point.
let me say, I agree with a portion of your agreement.
Talk to me, brother.
I don't know that it got to go down such a dark road. You know what I'm saying? Like we could do some
Everything
gangster.
is everything, sir. Stop disconnecting. Violence and love is always the same. We had this debate before. Love is pain, sir. And you were wrong, and I won that debate.
I don't ever recall having that debate. I'm certain if we did, I didn't lose because violence is pain. Love is
I'm
not
certain I didn't lose.
pain.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, I don't know that would be the best way to handle it. But I do agree with the overarching point that, respect should be given all the time.
Yeah, because I understood you wholeheartedly because, you know, who I am, I had discovered since rebirth that I am a leader. And I was an undercover leader at first, but now I'm not in the backseat anymore. I'm driving the freaking SUV, sir. I'm driving the Metro bus. What I say goes. Like I said, your soliloquy was excellent. This is how you teach parents how to raise their, when they bring their boys, okay, say you got a daughter, that's hard for us as black men dealing with the boyfriends. You're saying don't be so, she's never going to date anybody. Just come on, calm down, take a breath. Hey, how you doing, brother? You get to know him. Getting to know you. Getting to know about you. That's what it's about. You don't want to hit him with that menacing, yeah, I'm from the streets, youngster. What's your intentions with my daughter? You talking about that part, right?
Well, I think, yeah, I think that is, yeah, kind of what I'm talking about. But not just because you put it on the black men, but I specifically heard a black woman talking about it.
Okay.
And you know, it was kind of received like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's the way you should do them. That's the way you should treat them. And I'm thinking, no, I don't agree with that.
Hold on. Please be more clear about what the woman's opinion was. I'm a little cloudy on that
Well,
topic.
she was saying, to the best of my recollection, she was saying when her children bring somebody over to their house to meet her, they already know off rip, I'm going to grill them. Oh, I'm going to grill them. And I'm like, in my mind, how is that helpful to this
Right.
potential relationship between your child and this person? And then if that does outlast or I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on
Test the
words
time.
today.
Test the time.
If that survives the
Okay.
initial grilling,
Okay.
that might create feelings of, hostility, or
Resentment.
it might, your child might look at that person in a different way or whatever. And it all depends on the child, because if my mama don't like him, then I love him. Or if my mama love him, then different people react to different
Right,
things,
right.
different ways. And then if that does survive that, then what's your relationship going to be like with that person that might end up being your son-in-law or your daughter-in-law? What kind of relationship are you going to have if the first meeting was contentious and demeaning? Like,
Yes.
I don't know that people always think about that kind of stuff when they're saying these things.
Okay. And I love the way you broke that down so eloquently. So I have to ask you, as a man of your age, when you are grilled at this point in your life, do you naturally and automatically lose respect for the person that grills you? Please tell me.
I don't know that I'm not necessarily in a position in my life where I'm gonna get grilled.
No, I'm just saying. If it happens, you just, hey, this is my partner, Livingston, and then they just, they just the same type of situation, same type of character, overprotective, or they feel a need of grilling. I want to know how Livingston. I know in your point, like, but how would you handle being grilled? Let's just take you back to that time. How have you been grilled before, and how have you handled those
I
situations?
think I had one person try to do it,
Okay.
and I just kept responding, I hear you. I hear you. My daughter is this, and she deserves it. And I hear you. And you better not put your hands on her ever, because I hear you.
He hit you with that one
Oh,
specifically?
He, yes.
Okay,
And I'm
that's a
like,
good one.
number one, what would make you think that I would, like, what kind of people are you used to dealing with? It really did
Right.
make me wonder what kind of people she been bringing home, like what kind of people she attracted to. This might not be the one for me.
Right.
And I wasn't worried about what nobody was going to do to me. It was just, it created a whole lack of respect on my part. I did not respect that man.
That's what I said. That's exactly what we get. So you don't have respect for people that try to intimidate you, even to this day.
No doubt about it. And again, I just kept saying, I hear you. And then he did hit me with, no, don't say you hear me, because just because you hear me don't mean you. And I was like, okay, I hear you. Because I'm not here to fight you, bro. I'm just,
right. I didn't do anything.
She said, come and meet this person, and I meet you, and this is what you coming at me with. And if this is going to be the rest of my life with her, I'm not going to be with her. It's kind of in the back of my mind what I was thinking, but I just kept saying, I hear you. I hear you.
I think you handled that well as a young man. Was you over 20 or you was under or over 20?
I was over 20.
Yeah, you handled that good. That was maturity. I like that. And like you said, the way you handling these situations, we're teaching that woman that called your platform. Yes, she knows now after our conversation what she doing is fundamentally wrong.
Well, she didn't call my
We're not judging
platform. She
her.
called Mr. Wyatt's platform.
Oh, Mr. White, he's a great. We respect him as a father and a husband, so we would never disrespect his platform on any level. And I know you feel the same way. But
I do.
I do want you to understand, we're not bashing you. We do love black women and our women, but fundamentally, Miss Lady, you are wrong with your strategy, your game plan. You should not intimidate, because what he just said, you making Emanuel think about not even dating your daughter now.
Well,
Now he even
when you think about it, though, that might have been the goal. You know, you never know.
Huh?
That might have been the goal.
Right. So now you're going to knock this lining out that juice. And you can't win as a parent. You're going to force, okay, that's how you feel about me? I'm going to really make her love me. See, it can go all, that's why you come with the Livingston King of Talk approach. Hey, good buddy, how you doing? So tell me about yourself. All right, yay, all right. Hey, man, my daughter, she's a great woman, and I just want somebody to treat her right. Talk like that. Don't be menacing. So I think your lesson in life today is excellent, and I appreciate you having me on the platform. And you see, I'm doing well with myself, sir.
Yes.
I appreciate you, man. Everything you're doing. You see, have you heard improvement in my vocabulary? Do I talk a little better? My vernacular is better since I've been talking to you and White.
I don't know. You try to use some big words here and there. I guess you can't beat that.
Well, morally, spiritually, I'm 86% better with the 2 years of therapy I received from Livingston and Wyatt, King and I. Free therapy.
That is bad therapy. If you need therapy, you better go get some real therapy.
No, but what about what you've done, sir? I've been talking to you for every day for the last 2 years and 18 months. Now, how you see the improvement? You're talking to me yourself. You're a man of God, so you can't say that I sound a lot better spiritually than I did 2 years ago. You remember I was demonic. You was praying for me. Remember, you was like, I'm praying for a CK. This fool crazy.
2 years and 18 months can make a difference.
Much love, man, to the family. Thank you, man. I'm going to listen to your platform, man. Thank you for letting me come on and talk to you.
All right,
and,
CK.
And bless the commenters, too. I love their families also. Thank you.
All right. That's CK. Oh, CK. He makes me laugh. I like CK. 2 years, 18 months. You can't beat that. But yeah, no, I heard that on that show, and I thought, interesting. I don't agree. I didn't agree with it. I saw a lot of people in the comments was agreeing. I didn't agree with it, and so I just, kind of thought I'd bring it up. Caller.
Hi, Emanuel. My name's Edsel.
How are you doing?
I'm pleasant, per usual. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
I'm elated. You're back. It's been a while. We don't. The talk day just doesn't seem the same when we don't get Emanuel to end it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, all right.
I kind of agree with you wholeheartedly about your daughter dating someone who you disapprove of for whatever reason. I was trying to tell Wyatt today, like that's a reflection of you. You exposed her to something to make her think it's okay, or that's what she did that she would like. That's a reflection of you. He was talking about if his daughter dated an older, man twice her age or whatever. I'm like, that's on you. You did that. Don't get mad at him. Try to say he's this, that, and the other, even though he probably is. But that's still something that you need to reflect on what you've done.
What?
And
Wait.
go ahead, I'm sorry.
Let me understand what you're saying, because I don't think I agree with you. You're
Oh,
saying if my daughter goes out and gets a guy that, I don't agree with her being with this guy, using your example, he's
yeah,
much older than her, that somehow I did something to make her pick that guy?
yeah, you did. There was something in the way you raised it, her. You either were too sweet on her, there was just a lack of balance. You were either too sweet on her or too hard on her. And she said, I want something that's nothing like him. Or I want something exactly like my daddy, an old nigga that spoils me.
Oh, I don't. Well, two things. First, did you say raised it? I'm
No, I
just
said
checking.
raised. I did not say raised it.
I'm
Please don't
pretty
insult
sure
me like that
you
again.
said raised
You know
it.
what? You know what? You've already ruined the phone call, but continue.
And I do not agree with that. My mama and my daddy didn't do anything, to my knowledge, to steer me in the position, to the person that I went to. My life experiences dealing with people, whatever develops, whatever you're attracted to, that steered it. But like, my mama didn't do nothing. My daddy didn't do nothing to make me decide to choose that woman.
Both Mrs. Livingstons were both of similar age, right?
Yes.
Around you, you would have. I don't know when you met them, but you would have. They would have been in the same high school building at the same time, correct?
Close to it, yes.
Yeah, and they God-fearing women.
Sure.
Okay, so that's what your parents steered you toward. Those type of women, I'm talking about when somebody does something completely, out of bounds with their relationship. It's like that's something you steered them toward.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
Okay, well then I misheard what you were saying earlier, but that's how I feel. Your kids will date what you show them is acceptable.
Yeah,
No.
no.
If you got a trailer load of girls, and just nailing everything in sight, your sons, your daughters are growing up seeing that, they will do the same thing.
No. Hear me when I tell you that could be true, and the opposite could be true, and everywhere in between. People are people. So, while you could have two sons and you out there pimping, and one son see that and like, ooh, I love the way my daddy be treating them women. He be slapping them around, blah, 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 blah. Ooh, I'm going to do that when I grow up. And the other son could look at that same thing and say, ooh, I don't like the way my daddy be treating them women. I don't like that at all. I'm never going to do that. So you can't say,
It steered them to that.
No.
To make those decisions. They made the decision to either do the good thing or the opposite of it.
Not necessarily. No.
You're splitting hairs, but that's fine because I'm willing to accept the impasse. In order to not keep the listeners to continue to listen to us going in circles. So it's been real. I had fun, and I'm glad you are back. And we'll try this again some other day. Maybe we can come to a resolution of things.
Yes,
but until then,
nice.
Y'all be safe. Oh.
All right. Yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. So, look, I understand the way that you were raised is going to have an influence. But if your child decides to pick this type of person, then you made them that way. I don't agree with that. I just don't. Twin.
What's up, you?
How you doing, sir?
Nice sweater you got on, man.
What did you say?
Said nice sweater you got on.
Oh, thank you, sir.
I don't got too much to say, man. Welcome back, though.
Thank you.
I ain't got too much to say. What job you trying to look for, man? You in the field?
networking and cybersecurity.
Oh, you try to, apply, see anybody, hiring or anything?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I say, did you try to apply, see if was anybody hiring in that field?
Well, that's what I'm in the process of doing. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's what's up. I ain't got nothing, man.
Well, hold on. May I ask you a question or two?
Yeah.
How do you feel about this government shutdown so far?
No, I'm doing the details about it. I really didn't pay attention to it.
What did you say?
I said, I really don't want to discuss
Oh,
the stuff. I mean, if I feel like, to be honest, if they can't come to an agreement, whatever, which the Democrats doing good by holding back. If you can't, I guess what he blocks Medicare or something they try to take, and the Democrats don't want them to take the Medicaid, Medicare, whatever. I feel like they shouldn't jump ship to what Trump trying to do or what's his agenda on it or whatever. And I think he should pay the government workers should get paid, and especially if I was working at what is it, TSA, this
yes,
checkpoint
the TSA.
security,
Yes, sir.
I would if they got a union or not. I don't know if they got a union. I would strike or whatever if they do have a union.
Well, but I
And
mean,
then
they already not getting paid.
yeah, if I ain't got paid, if I'm not getting paid and bills piling up, what's my next obstacle on that? What should I do?
I think what you might want to do, hold on, let me say what normal presidents might do as opposed to what this president might do. Normally, you keep going to work because you putting in them hours, and when the government shutdown is over, then you gonna get all that back pay.
Yeah, but all that back pay, you ain't got no side hustle, and you ain't got no money saved up. Then what, man? What you do after that?
Well, but I mean, what is your other option? If you go on strike, as you say, you don't get no back pay or nothing, right?
I mean, you gotta either leave that job or go find something else to do.
Maybe.
Them bills,
Or
Uncle Sam ain't gonna stop knocking at that door.
well, Uncle Sam is gonna stop knocking at that door because the government is shut down. But the bills are gonna keep piling up, and maybe what you might want to think about doing, and if you can, is you might want to borrow from people. You know what I'm saying? You might want to, if you got a brother, if you got a mom, a dad.
Some people burnt that bridge though.
That's why I said if you have that, then you might want to do that. Or, maybe I don't know if anybody knows this, tell me. Like if we know there's a government shutdown. If I call, is it Duke Energy now? Is it still Duke Energy? If I call Duke Energy and say, hey, look, I work for the government. I know, we on a shutdown. I know my bill is due. Do they extend you some time as a government worker, understanding you going to, eventually they're going to get their money?
Well, I have insurance, that's set up if I get hurt or lose my job or something like that, and I'm behind on bills. I got it stated in the application, whatever, that they went over with me, that they can pay my rent or whatever, my expenses up for 6 months. So I have insurance like that that's set up in case if I get hurt or lose my job or something like that. So with that being said, man,
you talking about Aflac?
yeah, I got Aflac and I got this other one, Minnesota Mutual, through my bank.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I don't know, man, it's tough, man. Okay, it's a hard question to answer, man, because I've never been in that predicament. I mean, I heard people, work for the government and that was like that.
Well, I want you to know that I am not going to say that you voted for this. I'm not going to say that, okay? I heard you earlier having a conversation about the homeless people and what CPS is planning on doing for the homeless people, and it sounded like you were exceptionally against that. Why are you so against that?
Against what?
Against CPS, Cincinnati Public Schools, trying to set
Doing
up
the
a
homeless?
spot. Yeah,
Who said I was against it?
I thought you
made
did.
that up.
I thought you did.
No, quit thinking. I didn't say nothing about that. I said I didn't go along with what they doing about the system.
That sounds like you're against it. If you don't go along
It don't
with it,
sound like it, man. Come on, E. Don't start, man. You just fresh out the block, man. You just came back home with that nonsense.
wait,
Don't put words in my mouth.
that's not putting words in your mouth.
Yes, you is. You trying to flip it. I didn't ever say that. So don't try to assume or whatever.
No, I don't feel.
Heard it from the horse's mouth.
Wait, you just said what you said. I heard you.
No, I didn't say like that.
I
didn't
heard
say
you
I'm
say
against
that
it.
you don't go along with it, which generally means you're against it.
Just say I don't agree with the bullshit. Say it like that.
That would be being against it.
No, I don't agree with some of the bullshit they saying.
Okay, what do you perceive to be BS, and what don't you agree with about it?
They should have. It's taken what, a year or two. I've been hearing about this homelessness for years, Emanuel, and they should have came with some type of initiative or something.
That's what this
solution
is. This is an initiative.
Man, that's about a damn next year, man. They've been hearing about homeless stuff for years and everything, but now I don't know, man. I just don't understand. I really don't. Like I was telling Wyatt earlier on the station, man, there's got to be some type of counselor or truant officer, somebody that really like, man, let's figure out this problem. Solution. Let's sit down and strategize the situations that come about with these kids and why is that kid failing on, why that kid not really being active or whatever. It's so much pinpoints, things that you can lay down and dissect, man. But people don't.
But I feel like that's what's been happening. Like, in order to come up with this plan, I feel like people had to sit around and say, "Okay,
they plan was to get rid of.
Hold on,
let me
get my sentence out.
Get these kids
Twin,
on the same bus as the 8th graders and 12th.
Twin,
that was their problem.
Twin,
what, man?
Let me get my sentence out. I feel like in order to come up with such a plan, that means somebody sat down and said, we got a problem with homelessness and our students. What can we do about it? And they came up with a plan, which is exactly what you're saying that they should have done.
Man, they should have did this. But me as a person, I wouldn't consider that plan. I mean, some might be good for somebody. But me, you got to think about, Emmanuel, when it get cold. That's my concern.
Okay.
When it get cold outside. Right now, it's okay. But when it get cold, 40 degree minus and snow in your car, and you can't get out to go in the building because school's probably shut down because the boiler probably kicked out or something, the furnace, whatever they got in there. And you got to look at it like that, man.
Well,
the safety of whether kids get pneumonia, frostbite up in that car because they ran out of gas or mama forgot to turn the car on or something like that. Well, you got to think something like that, man.
Well, but and this is just, I'm just thinking, if the concern is when it's cold outside, that might not be safe. And of course, I kind of agree with you there. But if you don't have this area that they're trying to come up with, then they still going to be living in the car. It's still going to be cold. They still going to be just as unsafe. You're going to be unsafe in the cold in the parking lot, unsafe in the cold in the alley. What's the difference?
Well, hey, what about trailers or something like that? Do they consider that though, man?
I don't know if they considered that or not.
Yeah, building like trailers on a campus or somewhere.
So you're
saying
so,
parking lots y'all lose. I mean, y'all building or something.
So it's
Y'all got the kid.
it sounds to me like you're saying you want Cincinnati Public Schools to build housing for them.
Of course. To do something, man, because it's go get cold. And them kids, how they go learn, man? They shaking in the car.
Right, but
Can't even write on the school board. I mean, on the notebook pad or something. That's my concern. That's all I'm saying.
right, but
Right now, it's cool. But when that minus 40 degrees come and it be a blizzard through here, then what? That little Ray died in the car from hyperventilation or something.
oh, that would be terrible.
That's what I'm saying, man. You got to think about that, man.
Right, but
You don't want that. You got to think before you try to ditch out. Well, we building school or this parking lot in March 2026. No. What about this, man?
right, but
What about these kids? They not thinking like that. It's just, hey, just get this out the way. Let's do this, and we all good. And if shit hit the fan, God forbid, I hope it don't come to that, man. It'd be like, man, this shit go backfire on somebody.
right, but that asking Cincinnati Public Schools to supply housing seems a little bit out of what it is that they're supposed to or what we expect out
How many
of them.
times they advertising they love the kids? How many times they advertising for homeless? How many times they advocated Narcan or the dope fiends on the street? How many times they advocate that? Come on, man.
Right.
Ain't nothing wrong with me putting my 2 cents in and say advocate to build a trailer for these kids.
I didn't say there was anything wrong with it. I just want is that kid okay?
I'm just saying if y'all took it the wrong, that's my idea. That's what I would have said if it was brought to me, to my attention about the situation. That's what I would have done, man. I'm just speaking for myself. What I would have done.
Okay, I don't
And
know.
I'm just giving my.
I don't know that that's the role of Cincinnati Public Schools as a district.
Yeah.
I do agree that, being outside, sleeping in a car in the cold is not a good idea. But they're going to be outside sleeping in a car in the cold either way.
So do they come into school, man? You take the shower and get the hot food and all that?
I don't know that they do or
How
that
do
they
that work?
don't. They don't, but they don't do that now.
And I'm saying that's what they say. If you read into it, they say take the shower and
Okay.
feed them.
Okay.
I'll say y'all doing that, but y'all ain't got no mats or something like that, like the shelter do, throw down in one of these schools or something, man. That's my idea, my thinking. Something got to be bigger than this small fry, man. The small fish, man. Something got to be big, man. I mean, that's how I put it. I mean, I'm speaking for what I would have done. I can't speak for nobody else, but if I was in that school system or board meeting or something like that, hey, that's what I'd be thinking. Hey, you need to do it like this, Ms. Murphy, whoever in charge, Cincinnati management, whoever.
So then can we now agree that you're against their plan?
Yes, you can say that as a man, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now I done heard it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, he played too well. Yeah, that's all, man. That was my concern, though, man. Twin love the kids. Oh, geez, man, I won't want nobody. I ain't never been homeless and none of that, but I won't want no kid. That's traumatizing, man. To sit there, man, just think about it. What is they thinking? Man, it's probably just ain't Cincinnati all across America, but still, it starts at home, and, I live in Cincinnati and everything. I can call it my home or whatever, but, man, it's crazy, man, how the system's set up. But I was just thinking, man, that's how it should be.
All right.
So I don't know. I mean, that was my info. That's what I would have done. So that's all, man. Yeah.
All right.
So it's breast cancer, and what is it? Breast cancer and violence month, awareness month, right?
I believe it is. It's not just breast cancer awareness. It's something else.
It's
but...
violence against awareness month, something like that. I heard.
Okay. Well, we are against violence, right?
Yeah, I ain't with that, man. No. Bypass that. I'm not my business. Don't say nothing to me. I won't say nothing to you. You with that, man. Yeah,
Okay.
that's all I gotta say.
Well, I appreciate you.
You don't appreciate nothing 'cause you go talk about me tomorrow in the chat, bro. I'm watching you, man.
I probably will. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me ask you this. I need you to set something up for me.
I don't set people up, man.
No. I need you to set something up for me, and I think you are uniquely qualified to do this. Me and my brother Nate. I haven't talked to him about this, okay? But I'm pretty sure he'll go along with me. Me and my brother Nate, we are getting sick and damn tired of the Livingston brothers. Can you set up something where me and Nate have some sort of a match against the Livingston brothers? Is that something that you could do?
Oh, jeez. There, I knew you was going to say that. One day, I knew you was going to say it. No, man, I just be messing with you. Man, you're crazy.
Twin, hey, I appreciate your call, man. Have an amazing rest of your day.
I was trying, man.
All right. That was Twin. I don't know. He always, those Livingston brothers, man. I hate the Livingston brothers. I just want it to be known. I haven't talked to Nate about this, but I'm pretty sure that he's with me. We can whoop some Livingston ass if it come to it. Brent.
Hey, what's going on, E-Man?
How you doing, sir?
Oh, I'm all right. Now, I know you're a former, four-time Hawaiian Village Wrestling Heavyweight Champion.
I'm a multiple-time HVWA Heavyweight Wrestling Champion, yes.
All right. And, you know, I know you and your brother are scrappy and, you know all the jiu-jitsu and everything like that. But if one of them Livingston's brother name is Cliff, put 10 and played for the Chicago Bulls. So, man, y'all better use them for an hour.
I believe that me and my brother can handle the Livingston brothers, whoever they are.
Oh man, but that I'm assuming that Joker's still. Well, no, I can't assume that he's still in good shape because we see Sean Kemp today. It's like he's about 350. So, yeah. But yeah, glad you're back. I know you've been busy with the cybersecurity. How many?
You're breaking up really bad. Brent?
Hello?
Yeah, you're breaking up really bad.
Oh, crap. Hold on one second here.
All right.
It may be switching back and forth between Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. It's not good. Oh, if this was an emergency, I would be effed up. All right. His phone dropped. I'm glad we don't have no emergency right now. Oh, let's see. This should be him calling back in a better spot. Brent.
Hey. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
All right. Yeah, I'm just sitting here at the desk, so I'm not certain what's going on here. But yeah. How many systems have you hacked so far?
Just one.
Okay. All right. So
yeah, I hacked the router and did a man in the middle attack and got all the information. Like, it's amazing how much information you can get. I got all the information.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that's good. That is good. I hope in Cincinnati that we don't have any children living in cars that die of hyperventilation. Yeah, that would be a mystery and definitely something to investigate.
You know what he meant. You know what he meant. And it's a legitimate concern.
Yeah, hypothermia. Yeah, that's the one thing though. It's because there are some big technical words even in engineering that I don't know how to say all the time, so I don't say them. I just describe what it is and leave it at that. So that is something else. But what else is that? Oh, talking with Trump, and this is day 13 of the Trump government shutdown. And you were saying that the TSA workers would get their back pay. But I saw an interview where reporters were talking to Trump, and he said some workers may get their benefits, get back pay, some workers may not. So he may be playing them stupid games of trying to figure out who voted for him and who didn't, and how all that works out. So I don't trust him.
Well, and just to be clear, I'm pretty sure I said under a normal presidency that they would get their back pay, but we're not sure under whatever this is.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's, folks like Twin and Ron and then folks of the sort who obviously voted for, at the very least, highly support Donald Trump and the Republicans, so much that they voted for him, or even those people who voted for third-party candidates who obviously didn't have a path, just from being on the various states' ballots. They weren't on enough states' ballots to get the electoral votes, which is crazy. And then you only hear about those candidates only during presidential elections, when if they want people to jump on board and go along with them, maybe they should start running people for maybe Cincinnati City Council or some of the local offices there and build up, gain that support instead of just forever attacking Democrats and never attacking Republicans. But, maybe they're just a little afraid. I don't know. Maybe that's the reason. But it just seems like they're doing the job of the Republicans without claiming to be a Republican, about all claiming to be, independent that, support a Zionist white woman about Israel, who's all for Israel. So it's just baffling to me, the psychology and the psychosis of folks who go against their own best interests. But
to be fair, there are people out there who genuinely believe that both sides are really bad. And so it doesn't matter, which side you vote for, because they're both things are gonna be bad no matter what. And now I don't necessarily agree with that. I think typically the Republicans, when things go bad, things are, tend to be worse for certain groups. But I understand the thought process of we've had shutdowns under Republicans, we've had shutdowns under Democrats. A shutdown is a shutdown, and it doesn't matter who caused the shutdown or who's this and who's that. People are suffering, but not people, wealthy people or, people of a certain stature.
Oh, yeah, I'm in agreement that both parties do some horrible things. I have no problem saying that, but some people will refuse to say that the Republicans do anything wrong, all while attacking Democrats. That's just like with Kamala Harris. She's on her book tour. And don't you know, she still got people protesting against the company, their Gaza supporters and everything, and protesting her. And she got pissed one time instead of saying, hey, I ain't the damn president. Why don't you go protest him? Which is crazy that they would be still protesting her. She didn't win. It would be understandable if she won to continue to protest her, but to think that her policies would be the same as Donald Trump's policies when it comes to Israel and the Palestinians is, goodness, Dr. Chantel Thomas. You're the king of talk. We also have your good buddy, the man of power. Y'all need to get her on so she can talk about this and how people just can't put one and one together. But that's just wild and crazy to me.
They can't. They can't.
Yeah. But so it's been 2 weeks or a week and a half since we talked, and so much has gone on in the world of professional wrestling. So yes, LaDonna, it's time for the wrestling report.
Hold on. Before you do the wrestling report, I
Okay.
want to ask you a question.
Sure.
Because you seem like a guy that likes, comedy,
Yeah.
a good joke, whatever, here and there. What do you
Yeah.
think about the comedians who decided to go to the Riyadh Comedy Festival
Oh my goodness.
and perform?
For blood money.
Yes.
It's I tell you, definitely Dave Chappelle was the main one that I heard was there. Dave ain't hurting for no money. So I'm trying to figure out what kind of money are those Saudi princes throwing at folks to make them come over there and perform for them, knowing good and well they better not say a damn thing about the crown prince or they'll be beheaded and definitely ain't gonna be able to leave. I don't understand it.
And to me, that's the craziest thing about the whole Dave Chappelle thing is because he's been on this kick for a minute about how comedy is the last bastion of free speech and comedians should be able to say anything they want to say in the spirit of comedy. But you go to somewhere where they clearly tell you can't talk about this, and this. And you do it anyway. And then you say, oh, it's the best time ever. It was the best comedy festival ever. And you never felt freer when you knew if you talked about these things, they might kill you. I don't understand the mindset behind that.
Yeah, I don't know. But, make it wrestling related. I guess the $1 Million Man was right. Everybody has a price. Everybody has a price. The PGA had a price. Remember when PGA with Tiger Woods, when they were making this, Live Golf and everything, and Tiger Woods said, we'll never play for them. If folks want to go over there with all that money and everything, so be it. And then when Live Golf and PGA merged, as soon as they got bought out, Tiger was playing on tour. So I guess folks have principles up into a certain point, some folks. And then it's all bets are off. But I don't know what my price is, but ain't nobody came with that number yet. But.
And again, to tie it into wrestling, as I let you move into the wrestling report, I've never watched any of the Crown Jewel shows from Saudi Arabia, and I will not be watching the WrestleMania from Saudi Arabia either. But maybe I should just be boycotting WWE altogether because of their relationship, because I am considering not supporting some of these comedians.
Yeah. Yeah, and you would be definitely within your rights to do it, because it just doesn't make any sense. But like I said, have any numbers come out about how much they were paying those comedians?
No, it hasn't. Now, I understand a comedian like, what was his name, Louis C.K., who's basically been canceled. I can kind of understand, if they offering you a big payday, you go over there and you take that big payday because you ain't getting no big paydays. But like you said, a Bill Burr, Dave Chappelle, some of these guys, they are not hurting for money.
Yeah, because I know with some of the golfers, and they were like, not even top 20, but they were older golfers and well known. They was getting $150 million just for going around answering awkward questions about it. And it's like, oh my goodness.
Now, but hold on, let me think about this in all reality. All right? In all reality. Would I go to Saudi Arabia and wrestle at a Crown Jewel event for $150 million? I might. You're talking about $150 million. I might do it.
Man, sadly, I've seen stories on the internet of young ladies going over there to Saudi Arabia and letting these princes and their friends, drop deuces on them and making them eat it too. And it's like, for $20,000, $30,000. And I'm like, what is this world coming to? That people will degrade themselves like that in order to make a quick buck. We are on the clock to doom.
Yeah. Well, Daryl and Nat kind of have very similar questions. Daryl says, what do you have against the Saudis? And maybe some of this is just propaganda, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily think it is. They murdering people. Like you don't remember what was his name? Khashoggi?
Yep,
The
the journalist.
reporter who they kind of murdered and cut him up. Like they killing people, journalists, and all that kind of stuff. I'm not under the impression because I think Nat says America is just as bad as Saudi Arabia and we live here. I don't know that we're just as bad. I'm not saying we perfect. I'm not one of those greatest country ever, because I ain't been in every country. But I think we would frown on, the Trump family.
Yeah.
Grabbing George Stephanopoulos, taking him and killing him and cutting him up because they didn't like that interview with J.D. Vance on Sunday. I think that's a different level of bad. But that's just me.
Yeah. Now, maybe Nat been getting some of that Saudi money. No, I'm just I'm messing around, of course. But I've seen reports, and this is not from American news media, but reports that behind the entire continent of Africa, number 2 on the list of enslaved people is in Saudi Arabia, which is crazy. And they get not only workers from Africa, but from India and other places like that, and take their visas, and they're essentially slaves building up these beautiful buildings and everything that they have done, and they have so much money that they'll pay off whatever government, they'll buy Donald Trump because they've obviously they gave his son $2 billion to manage. Man, that's a lot of if money is if that is your idol, man, go with the Saudis because they will give you all the money that you ever want, and it's nothing to them. Money is absolutely nothing to them. But yeah, quickly with the wrestling report, we'll make it abbreviated. We'll have to do a 2-parter. We'll just start with the Monday Night Raw from last week.
All right.
What made it there with my one of my friends and his daughter, who also plays ice hockey. So I was able to connect her with my son, and she loves it, and she actually likes wrestling. So I'm like, yeah, you can have the tickets, and we got a parking pass, so that saved $45 there too. So it was nice vantage point from the ring in one of the corporate suites, which is one of the benefits that I have with where I work. But the main thing how they had the drone fly around the arena.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that drone would be huge, but it's one of those little handheld drones that could actually fit in your hand.
Yeah, them DJI.
So they got, so I didn't realize they had that type of technology, make it that small and still be able to live stream it, to be able to fly around like that. That was amazing to me because it flew right by us and like, what in the world? What's that? I thought someone had snuck one in. And you being AV, you would probably love to, because I was just looking at, we were on the opposite the hard camera side, so they got all the sound people there, the production people and everything. So just what it took in order to get everything hooked up, number one, to that arena, and then to have everything showing with the vignettes and everything, and to broadcast that all over the world. Just thinking that from just a technical side and a blurred side, that would be something that you would love to, peek behind the curtain to see what's going on there.
You don't know. I would love it. I would absolutely love it. Yes.
Yep. And just one other thing dealing with that, and that was when main event Jey Uso, because he started the show, came down the ramp, but then at the end of the show, he came through the tunnel, and it was the tunnel right above where we were sitting. So my friend's daughter, she was yeeting it up, and she was having a good time. So I was having a good time, enjoying watching her having a good time.
Yes.
And seeing all of the other kids with their belts and how they were dressed and everything. And then, then there were some dudes my age and older, 2 belts over their shoulders and everything, and I'm like, yeah. I'm a fan. I'm not a fanatic of it. But just to count the number of championship belts and everything that was asked, 300, 500, 500, and I'm like, man, I guess I put my, extra cash into other things other than championship belts that, I wouldn't take outside of, maybe have it on the wall. But I even told my family, do not get one of them for me for Christmas or whatever, because I can't do nothing with it but take a picture with it, and that's it. I'm not taking it to an event. But that's all I got, because we talked a lot about the other things in there, and we'll hit on Crown Jewel and the new New Japan Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion on the next time.
All right.
Hey, you have a good one.
All right, Brent, you do the same.
Bye.
All right. Let me see. Nat Turner says America grabbed Patrice Lumumba with the help of the Belgians, chopped him up, and burned him in acid. Not to mention what this country has done to black folk. If you don't see a problem with the country of Saudi Arabia doing some of the widely reported humanitarian atrocities that they're doing, I'm not trying to convince you that it's bad. I'm not. I just don't. I don't agree with it. But that's just me. Marquetta.
Emanuel.
Yes.
What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on?
So I don't watch wrestling, but I did see, is it twin brothers or something that retired?
Twin brothers that retired?
Some brothers, some sort of brothers. I saw they was up and down the timeline. It was their last wrestling match. Where are y'all watching this at? On WWF? Where are you watching this?
There's a few different wrestling, but WWE being the main one.
And where did it get broadcast at? Is that on regular TV or on, where is that at?
Netflix or Peacock or
okay.
USA Network.
Okay, they like when we was growing up Saturday mornings.
No.
Okay, interesting stuff there. I seen that John Cena was congratulating these brothers who was retiring from wrestling, and they was all hugging in their Speedos in the wrestling ring. I just don't know how that's interesting. But I wanted to call in and talk to you. Do you mind?
I don't, but before, let me explain how it's interesting. No, just real quick. I mean, it's just.
Oh my God! I mean, I get it. It's football. It's basketball. It's boxing. Sports is entertaining. I can't. It just may not be for me.
Hold on. Let me. Maybe 2 or 3 quick questions. Do you watch anything for entertainment?
I love entertainment. Like what? What do you consider?
Like entertainment. Do you watch movies?
I watch scary movies.
Do you? Okay, you watch scary movies.
Yeah, I like scary movies.
And they entertain you.
To an extent, they kill time. But
yeah, maybe because of the story or,
the storyline and stuff. Sure, entertainment.
There you go. Same thing. There's a storyline. They're not just willy-nilly in there jumping around and whatnot. There's stories
behind it. It's a whole
soap
opera. Storyline.
You follow the storyline. You realize. You realize when you're watching those scary movies, once the dude get killed, he get up, they say cut, and he get up and everything is good. You're like, oh, that ain't real. But you suspend disbelief for the time that you're watching that movie. Same thing with wrestling.
Hey, no explanation needed. If that's what you enjoy on your leisure time, that's what you enjoy. But I want to talk about crime. What do you think about martial law being invoked to bring safety to the areas like D.C., Memphis, Chicago? They got ICE and they got Department of Justice and FBI and the ATF and the Marines, Air Force, National Guard. What do you think about that? And now the cities are safe.
Well,
Well, they're saying the cities are safe.
I
They're
reject
saying
it.
it's a reduction in crime. It's a reduction in murders in D.C. They said they didn't have a murder for 12 days. But I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I reject that the cities are safe. Um, I don't like it. I don't like the idea that the federal government and is using, military apparatus. Is that the right? Did I use it right?
They created they had to bring in a police state
Yeah, I
in
don't.
order to bring a sense of you can say it's not safety, but I'm watching people in those areas saying they can walk to the store. They ain't walked to the store in 20 years. But go ahead. I understand the
But
whole
I'm
anti-police
also
state
watching
thing.
people in those areas saying they don't feel safe. So you're always gonna have, some people. There's always gonna be, oh, this is the best thing ever, and some people gonna be, this is the worst thing ever. But I don't like it. I don't like that's not the way it's supposed to be set up. And there's too much room for. I mean, even though it in and of itself, I feel like it's overreach, but there's way too much room for overreach. And what I fear is, okay, people ain't running down the street, maybe shooting each other. But you couldn't, as an intelligent woman, I don't think that you could possibly believe.
What did you call me intelligent?
I don't
I'm
think
sorry
that,
to interrupt. Go ahead.
I don't think that you could possibly believe that if, I'm going to use these names, if Ray Ray wanted to shoot Pookie, he's not going to do it because the National Guard is in that city. So even if crime rates are going down and people are like, oh, I can walk to the store, it's a false sense of security at best.
So let's go back to Pookie and Ray Ray. Why is Pookie so hell bent on killing Ray Ray, and he see that it's National Guard, increased police, and all of that? Why would he not give up killing Ray Ray? What is he going? What drives that type of hatred?
Well, a number of things drive that type of hatred. I mean, there could be a business deal gone wrong. You know what I'm saying? There could be any number of things, and that's actually kind of the point that I was trying to make inartfully, or I guess that I was gonna make, is that just because Pookie didn't shoot Ray Ray, you didn't deal with whatever it is that is causing that kind of hate. So unless you're gonna have those troops there forever, once they leave, whatever the forces were that was causing the violence, the crime, it's gonna still be there. So if you're not dealing with the root cause, what are you really doing?
And that's, I always say, the root cause is really something that we need to deal with as a people, as a culture. Let me ask you this. I'm listening to Cincinnati saying that y'all got homeless people living in cars and in a parking lot. Why isn't the city, because the city is a sanctuary city, I'm sure that they don't have immigrants living in cars and in parking lots. Where are they living at?
I would imagine that there are some homeless immigrants living in cars and parking lots as well. But I do agree with you that the city should be taking the lead on it and not Cincinnati Public School District.
Oh, is that what it was? The school district is trying to give them somewhere safe, not the city.
Right.
Okay. So I got another question for you. First of all, do you support Stefan Pryor? Or do you live in the city of Cincinnati district?
Yes.
Where you can be taxed? Okay.
Yes.
And would you support Stefan Pryor for council?
That's a hard one for me. It's a hard one for me.
You ain't got to answer, because I remember me and you used to go back and forth for the Scotty Johnson, and I remember one of your callers said that Scotty Johnson let somebody pee in his liquor and didn't do nothing to stop him. Who was it, Garrison, that said that?
That was.
And that always kind of.
Hold on. Here's why. But no, here's why it's a hard one. Because I want to support Stefan Pryor. I like Stefan Pryor. Mm-hmm. Stefan Pryor did some stuff, and then I kind of, called him out on it, and he called in here and he said, I don't want your vote. So do I support a guy who said he don't want my vote? I don't know.
Oh, see, I don't listen to you. I'm sorry that happened to you and Stefan. I love Brother Stefan. He always in the community with his boxing events. He always there with his camera, going to the city councils, just being real involved. And so I appreciate that about him. But if you won't support him, are you going to support the vice mayor?
I will support the vice mayor. As long as she
Okay,
don't
so
call herself no JMLK, I will support her.
I don't know what that means. But what do you think about her putting $500,000 up for trans youth, and y'all sitting up there with kids, homeless, sleeping in cars, from what I've been seeing on the gun report, y'all get like 5 murders a week or every other week at least. Let's see, in September, I think it was 10 murders. October, y'all already at 5. So that has to do something to the mental health of the children in the community, seeing other children get shot, seeing the adults in their community get shot. Where's the mental health focus for them? Why was your vice mayor make it a priority to prioritize trans youth's mental health and put $500,000 to the side for them and for that?
Well, first, I don't think $500,000 in the grand scheme of things is a whole lot of money when you're talking about.
But you got homeless kids.
I mean, even if I said I got $500,000 to end homelessness, you would laugh at me. So
it's not to end
and it would be reasonable.
But it would be a temporary, same way that sleeping in a car or sleeping in a parking lot would be temporary. But I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying it would be reasonable to laugh at that. Because clearly $500,000 is not going to end it or even have a large temporary impact on it, depending on how that $500,000 is spent. I'm not all that familiar with the whole 500. I've heard this story, so I'm not 100% familiar with what those funds are for, how they're going to be allocated and all that kind of stuff. I remember reading an article on it, but right now I can't recall the details.
They say that LGBTQIA plus youth have a higher incident of suicide.
Okay.
So I get the concern, but the concern is for LGBTQIA plus youth, not trans youth. She specifically put $500,000 to the side for trans youth mental health. And my argument has been and will continue to be that, gender is a biological fact. So if you talk about a temporary fix, you as a boy, no matter if you put on a skirt with lots of makeup and wigs, you're still a boy. So $500,000 towards your mental health, how is that helping you? You can't change your gender.
Well, I would imagine, first let me say, I agree with you about that. I believe it's males and females, and as much as you wish, want, hope, feel, doesn't change the fact. But can additional counseling wouldn't necessarily change you, but it could, if you're experiencing suicidal thoughts, I think counseling might be good to help you not kill yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I'm not here to say, Jen, Michelle, I support that 100% because I don't have all of the information about it, but I'm not like, oh, she supported trans people, I'm not going to vote for her. I'm not that person either.
I mean, it's not about supporting trans people. It's about the allocation of resources. And me being a former citizen of Cincinnati, listening from the outside, I'm hearing the city say, we don't have nowhere for our kids to live. I'm seeing reports that saying there's a 20,000 people population increase in the city, and housing has not kept up with the population increases. And the housing that is there is every other, you can watch it on Channel 9. You got slumlords. You had 2 infants that died because of possible mold contamination down there over the Rhine. You got the Sunrise apartments over there in Coleraine that's being just dilapidated. In the city, usually when you have a landlord that subsidizes low-income renters, the city comes in and gives them money as well. So the city has been incentivizing slumlords. My concern is that normal, average, everyday working people. Because I've talked to you about being able to pay rent for years and how you need to be able to make 3 times the rent and income in order to qualify for housing. But if you're not skilled or if you don't have jobs in your area that will allow you that type of income, you're going to be unhoused. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing more and more people becoming unhoused because they can't afford the rent. And it just boggles my mind that we're not concerned about that, which is a very real, table issue, as opposed to something as abstract as trans youth mental health. And that's just the money is my concern, not the trans youth, the money. Because the trans youth could also be counseled just like a child who's witnessed a gun violence victim, just like a child who's experienced homelessness or molestation. They could be, and here's another thing about Vice Mayor and Scotty Johnson. And I said this on Wyatt's show, and if you look it up on Channel 9 about 10 months now, when they went and they said, for the child that had been murdered in the park, that, we're giving you a declaration for the city. We're going to name this street after you. But they didn't back that up until recently with actual services like shot spotters, like additional patrols and stuff like that. But you're willing to support these people. Hello?
Okay.
I'm just saying. I'm trying to figure out how you're saying Stefan is not a good candidate, but these are actual people who are already in power, and these are some of the things that they're doing, and this is how it's impacting the community.
Well, let me ask you this: what is Stefan's plan to combat homelessness? To the best of your knowledge.
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't be listening.
What is Stefan's plan to combat, suicidal trans youth?
I don't know. I haven't even listened to him talk on that.
What is Stefan's plan for anything?
I think that he would just have more integrity than other people on the city council. I don't think it's about issues with him. I think you would have in him a safe person who won't sell you out, even though he may have a hard time, with the king's language. I think integrity-wise, where his heart is at, you won't have to have a concern with him doing side deals with slumlords. You won't have to have a concern with him and national political movements coming in and influencing his vote, or you won't have to have a problem with him immediately quitting for a new job in a higher position. That's why I like Stefan.
Well, let me challenge that a little bit.
Question about Corey Bowman.
Wait, let me challenge that a little bit. Let me challenge that just a little bit. You say he wouldn't necessarily be influenced by outside entities coming in and doing things. But this is where he lost my support. An outside entity, Fox News, the conservative Fox News movement, came in and influenced him to say that a sitting city council person who was black was basically a drunkard. And his integrity, he didn't have, in my opinion, the integrity when called on that to say, okay, that might have been out of line. I shouldn't have said that. That shows he's definitely influenceable, and he lacks some level of integrity, as well as the ability to, I'm going to just use the term, read the room and see where maybe what you're doing, maybe what you're saying is not appropriate, and you can't self-correct, and then second, you can't take correction from someone. Your response to a very nice attempt at correction is, I don't need your vote. So I think
So
maybe some of
wait. So you're talking about in regards to the woman who's sitting on city council who said they deserve that beat down.
she never said
That
that.
Stefan,
That's not what she said.
what did she say? What
I
did she
don't
say?
I don't remember her exact wording, but it was not she
Okay,
deserved that
what
beat
went
down.
national? What went national, and what Fox News was possibly covering because they're racist, is that she was somewhere in the internet saying they deserve to get their ass beat,
Right.
or I know all that I
Did
know.
spin it. Yes.
Was she right for saying that?
She was right for saying how she felt. Yes.
Okay, so why Stefan ain't right for saying how he felt?
Because what he said is a matter of fact, not necessarily a matter of opinion. See, if I say, Marquetta deserved to get beat up by whoever beat her up, that's just my opinion. If I say Marquetta was drinking alcohol, that's not a matter of opinion. That's a matter of me misstating a fact. Those are different.
You all over the place with that one. I don't think you made that right. First of all, let's not threaten me because you already
genuinely
got.
don't believe it's different if I say Marquetta snorts cocaine. You don't think that's different than me saying
slander.
Marquetta deserved to get beat up that day?
That's slander and libel.
Right. Exactly.
And I feel you on it. But now you're saying it right. He slandered her. He libeled her in the press by saying that she was possibly drunk. But that's how he felt. That was his opinion. Same way that she had her opinion on this. Like you said, read the room. That would be totally inappropriate for a tax-funded city council person, because if she was white and she said that about black people, we would be in an uproar. So I agree with you, but I disagree with you.
I don't know that I agree with that assessment, but
I think we both. And let me end this with you. I heard the man who be talking about wrestling every time I come in here, talking about Palestine and people's reaction. Did you see Trump bring them people home?
Did I see him bring them home? No.
Those Israelis that everybody was saying that the Palestinians deserve genocide for kidnapping and killing on October 7th. It's 20 Israeli hostages that was just released, and Trump came out saying that he was the one who made it happen, and he was the one who brokered a deal.
Yeah, he said that, yes.
He said that. Why would Palestinians be protesting him?
I'm not sure that I understand the question.
Okay, because you were talking in the context of Kamala Harris. Like I said during the election and prior, like I've said for the last 25 years, America protecting Israel, knowing that Israel is a warmonger, a pariah state, a Zionist ethno state that practices apartheid and segregation, that is backed by the United States. Every administration since I've been alive has been pushing towards Israel, no Palestine, not recognizing Palestine as a state. During the Biden administration, it was and Trump. Every U.S. president is complicit in imperialism.
Yes.
Every U.S. president is complicit in genocide. But this particular genocide that I'm talking about, the South Africans went to the International Criminal Court against Joe Biden. The South Africans brought the criminal case against the United States and Joe Biden for the Palestinian genocide, even though we know Trump is going to finish the job. My point is, that's why people was protesting Kamala Harris, even though she on her book tour and she wants to act as if she has no complicity. She was a part of that administration. She was a part, and no matter how bad we wanted health care and education and a black woman president and all that, genocide was from the documents I've seen, 40% of the people who did not vote for her were not behind her because of that genocide.
Oh.
So when you see Code Pink, who comes to these events and protest against her, that's what they're saying. They're saying that she was complicit, and even though she is, on her book tour, do you know that she said Biden is not answering her phone calls?
I did hear that. Yes.
Did you see her synopsis of her book where she said, if she would have chose the gay guy instead of the school teacher, she just might have been overreaching. Did you see that?
I did see her talking about why she didn't choose. Oh shoot, I don't want to call him the gay guy. The dude from Indiana.
Buttigieg.
Yes,
Pete,
I don't like
Pete
the way you
Buttigieg.
pronounce that. Buttigieg, or however. Yes.
I'll be saying it wrong too. But she said that even though the Democratic Party went all the way left from their base, who just wants union, free education, health care. That's really the center of the left party. They went all the way to the left and said, we can trans your kids. But she wasn't willing to stand with a homosexual in the president's candidacy.
Well, but I think that the point that was being made was that, okay, as you said, every administration has been guilty. Why aren't they out there protesting every time what's his face, Mike Pence, is out there? Because he was a vice president of an administration that held the same beliefs.
Where's Mike Pence speaking at?
All over the place. Mike Pence does speaking gigs on a regular basis and gets paid handsomely.
Oh yeah, let me see that. I agree with you. I don't think any of them are absolved from protest. Nobody should be siding with the murder of children, the murder of women, the destruction of another nation's nation solely for the greater Israel. I agree. I completely agree with what you're saying. And Code Pink, from what I know, they do protest some of everybody. Code Pink is a group of women. The code, instead of saying Code Red, is Code Pink. And what they do that. They disrupt events, and it's usually in regards to the genocide, not just the Palestinian genocide, but also the genocide in Congo. But I would say that nobody's protesting Donald Trump at this moment because they got a glimmer of hope. They've been sold a false bill of goods that somehow they're still not going to be annihilated. But he already said, when the lady gave him $200 million and kind of sealed the election and said, we're going to build greater Israel, which is really them just branching out further into North Africa. And then I was listening to y'all talk about the slavery in Saudi Arabia. I will not stop bringing up the fact that it was under Obama's administration and Secretary Hillary Clinton who went in with the Arab Spring and dethroned Gaddafi. And even though he was killed by his own people, it was at the behest of the Obama administration. And for the last 10 years, slavery has grown. Like, it's an international problem, but in that area in particular, they have open air slave markets where they are selling Black people for $200, holding them for ransom for $6,000, etc. So Israel is a part of that. Israel is also a part of keeping the Congo in the confusion that it's in, because all these big AI centers and Elon Musk and his desire for electronics and all of that come out of the Congo. So as Black Americans, my and you know how I talk, I've been talking to you for years. My position is Black Americans need to stand on their own agenda and not necessarily mix in with all these different competing things. Because I'm not necessarily, to be real with you, I'm not necessarily concerned about the Palestinians. I'm more upset that Israel gets all of that money, and it wasn't America that burned them in ovens. It was America that did the greatest sin to Black Americans and never gave us our 40 acres and a mule. After they got the 40 acres and a mule, the Klan came. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I wanna double back to something just to check and see if I understood something that you didn't say, but I feel like you insinuated. So this is a question. Are you saying that you agree with the Trump administration sending troops and whatnot into American cities?
I am. I'm so happy to see it. I'm happy to see, unfortunately, unfortunately. But because our community, no matter how much you talk to us about, the fact that we have 3 times the murder rate amongst each other, it was just an article that was produced about 37% increase in domestic violence in the state of Ohio and the people dying. We as a people wouldn't address the root cause, which is our own self-hatred towards one another.
I
We as
reject
a
that.
people culturally would not even admit that there was a problem. So when the Memphis Police Department, for instance, when they had beat that brother down worse than Jesus, and the Scorpion unit was being investigated, that was before Trump. The FBI had to come in and tell the police department that you're wrong and you're racist for concentrating your police efforts not only on black people, but now you just out of whack. And none of them police officers really got no real time, and we really did not care. So unfortunately, yes, in DC, where we
That is
saw
unfortunate.
where we saw basically the end of the Constitution, because you got National Guard coming into local communities. Yes, we needed that to protect our people, to protect children who were being murdered, to protect elderlies who were being carjacked. Even in Chicago, as they go there, even if it is temporary, because the gangs won't stop. Because we don't see a problem with it, we won't do nothing. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I don't know who you're thinking doesn't see a problem with it, but you genuinely believe, and again, this is another question, you genuinely believe that the Trump administration is sending troops into these areas to police mainly black people, and that there's no focus on black people, which was your complaint about what happened in Memphis?
I don't know if you said it right or if I heard it right. Repeat that for me.
The Trump administration sending troops into these cities to over-police black people. And you don't seem to have a problem with it, but you had a problem with the Memphis police over-policing black people?
Well, the Memphis Police Department the Scorpion unit was harming black people by over-policing. So what you saw, what was his name, Tyrell?
I don't remember his name, but I remember the
I don't want to respect. Yeah, I don't want to disrespect brother, but you know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
Once we saw that meant that your local police department they're not there for safety and protection, and we're not seeing that.
So
what you see is a heavy police presence, but you don't see lynching.
So you're gonna have to wait until but then once you see that, then you'll say it's bad.
And let me say this, because it's the same thing with ICE. They're telling them, we'll give you $1,000 and an airplane ticket to self-deport. Keep you and your children safe, go home. The people who choose not to, who are being chased down by ICE, they are putting our constitutional rights in danger because they're not citizens. And because they're not citizens, they're not going to be afforded due process.
Right, but I'm not necessarily talking about ICE right now. I'm talking about these
ICE is a combined effort.
But I'm talking about these military presence that are going into these cities. I think a
military presence in the black community is needed because black people will not stop killing each other. Let me finish my question.
Let me finish my question.
That was the answer.
Let me finish. I haven't finished the question. So the military presence going into these cities, once you see them harming black people on that level, then will you say it's bad?
On that level?
Yeah, on that level.
Until then, no.
All right, now hold on. There's
a second. Because there's nothing wrong with investigation to see if you have an open warrant. There's nothing wrong with patrolling the area to ensure that there is.
No. I so disagree with you. There is something wrong.
I know you do. That's why I called in.
There is something horribly wrong about randomly stopping people to check and see if they have an open warrant. But even let's set that aside for a second. How are you gonna see the police do to black people, or that military presence do to black people what they may or may not already be doing, when one of the things that they're doing is they're arresting journalists for covering them, and they're calling it obstruction. I'm
That's not
standing there
true.
with a camera recording the military do these things. I get arrested for obstruction just because I'm recording. How are you going to see it if no one can report it?
How did we see it when the brother died in Memphis? Was it on the news?
It was
the
on body
camera.
cam.
It was on body camera. Okay, so the body camera is did they take the body cameras off?
Do you think the military is going to let you see their body cameras? Do you think they're even wearing body cameras?
Is it military or is it National Guard?
That's military.
Is that the military?
Yes.
Anyway, I would go on to tell you, from what I'm seeing, I have no problem with the National Guard patrolling our city.
Okay.
I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. The enemy of free press has been, again, every president, including Obama. There was a war on free press. It always has been, with Julian Assange, when you had Chelsea Manning telling everybody about all of the
Let me ask you
surveillance
this. When we're talking about,
wait,
when we're talking about the what's going on right now, why do you keep going back to Obama?
Because you hold him as if he's done nothing.
Who holds him as if he's done nothing wrong? Me?
Most of us. Yeah, I've been talking to you for years, and you've always asked the same question. Why? I could go back to Clinton. You could go back to Bill Clinton when he deregulated the stock market.
Or you
could
just
go back to George Bush Jr. when he brought in the orange alert, the red alert, the yellow alert.
Or you could just go to Donald Trump, who's the actual president.
But again, I'm telling you, as a citizen, and I'm seeing other citizens say, this president, under this administration, I can walk to the store. Ain't nobody just shooting up my neighborhood. People ain't just walking around getting out of jail with, for whatever charges, and offending and hurting the same community over and over and over again. Is what I'm seeing from the communities of Memphis, DC, Chicago. They're, from what I've seen, I mean, I'm sure you have other information as well. I'm seeing people say, I can walk to the store. I can go outside with my child. Another big thing,
I can do that right now, and ain't no National Guard here.
Well, the Cincinnati don't have crime like that. Cincinnati is more. I don't understand for the life of me, though, with all of the so-called black media you have, why that guy who is a suspect in Krishonda Wynn's murder, why his face ain't plastered everywhere. Like, why is there not a APD from the community? We have a picture of a man that possibly shot a mother of 5 20 some odd times. We got his picture, but we don't talk about it. We're not advertising.
What is Donald Trump doing about it?
I don't live in Cincinnati.
What is the Trump administration doing about it?
Is in the federal. I'm talking about city and state in regards to
but he's
that.
sending
You
hold
said,
on. You can't say
Guard,
on one hand the National Guard should come down and police local cities, and then try to divorce the Trump administration from the cities. So if the Trump administration is able to get into the minutia of the cities, then you can't. Well, that's federal and that's local. What he's doing is taking his federal authority and going local. So why can't he do that with, what's her name?
Krishonda Wynn.
Why can't he do that with Miss Wynn?
I think you would have to know. I mean, I don't want to disrespect her death or make a nuisance of that. The point that I'm making is the suspect. And as a community where we could do something, I'm not talking about Trump in that regard, but if you're talking about Cincinnati as a whole and the need of National Guard services, I think it was your state that came in and said, we'll give you additional police force since you already short police. We'll send in the Ohio State Patrol to help you.
That's not the National Guard.
I mean, that may not be for Cincinnati. Memphis, Chicago, DC has higher rates of murder and higher rates of crime than Cincinnati. What I'm talking about in Krishonda Wynn's particular case, because we could talk about Shakita too. Again, there is no concern.
Right.
When
What
we
is the
get
Trump
killed,
administration doing about it?
but I'm not understanding your point.
Here's my point. My point is,
We both know the National Guard not supposed to be in the streets. We both know the National Guard not supposed to be there. But go ahead.
Let me tell you what my point is. My point was, all of this last portion came from me asking a question. Why do you keep trying to turn everything back to Barack Obama? So what I'm doing is in trying to do the same thing in reverse. If everything goes back, all roads lead to Barack Obama. Well, from my perspective, all roads lead to Donald Trump. And I want you to see how ridiculous it is for me to blame Donald Trump for everything that happens, just as ridiculous as it is for you to, every time we talk about something, for you to say, but the Obama administration did this. It doesn't really
so from now
fit.
I'm going to say the Bush administration, because it was the Bush administration that suspended the Constitution after 9/11 and they brought in the extra security. But go ahead.
Or we could just talk about the administration that is currently there. When we're talking about things that are currently
has National
happening.
Guard in areas that are high traffic crime areas, high traffic murder areas. And just because they telling you that crime has went down, that does not mean that people are safe. What I'm telling you under this administration, what I'm seeing in the news, what I'm seeing from first-hand person reports is people in the community who look like me saying, thank you, Donald Trump. I feel safe. And even though we both know the National Guard is a ridiculous thing to put into communities, somehow it worked. Somehow the D.C. mayor came out and thanked Trump's administration to say, we can say that we have seen an increase in safety because of this blitz. And I just personally, when I talk about our violence in our community, the people against us, we're literally killing each other. We're committing genocide. I don't give a fuck about white people and what they're doing. And
that's always a cop-out that people use when they want to demonize black people.
What's that?
I don't care what white people doing. It's a common cop-out that people use to ignore, to paint.
I'm a black person. Why would I care about what white people doing to white people?
What it is if I want to paint black people as being really bad, I say black people did something really bad. And then if white people are doing the same thing, I say, well, yeah, but I don't really care about them. And then that way I dismiss or absolve them from their bad activities and then shine the light even more on black people. That's the way people always, I don't care what white people are doing.
I hear you on that.
This black person killed this black person. They're horrible. That white person killed that white person. Well, I don't care what white people do. I don't care about what black people do. So you're saying black people are really bad, white people, and don't matter.
White people, Asian people, you taught me that. Asian people harm Asian people. White people harm white people. And so the white male, being 30% of the population, he's accountable for 60% of the crime, 60% of the murders, 60% of the rapes, 60% of the dogs, 60% of the children being abused. They have a portion of crime that they account for, and they need to be held accountable for. No doubt about that. Nobody can say that white people are innocent, but they're not my concern. I watched Krishonda grow up. I actually know some of the people that's being murdered. It impacts me. And it's the same thing with the children in our community. When we look for resources and those children are not able to process that their friend just got murdered or shot. See, white people and whatever they doing, that's not going to impact a black child. A black child is concerned that Thomas Bell, somebody that they know, somebody they grew up with, is dead, and they don't have any mental health counseling. And it wasn't the police that killed them. It's the same thing, with Brandon and Quentin or whoever else that gets murdered that we know personally. We hear personally. So white people aren't on my radar when it comes to that. But I get what you're saying, and nobody's demonizing black people. What I'm saying to black people is, you got to stop trying to involve yourselves in white politics and get our communities together. New Era Detroit, King Randall, and so many others. Down here where I'm at, and I'm going to end you with this. Where I'm at right now, they've been pulling, and I know the other guy from Texas, I don't know why he ain't talking about it. They've been pulling a body out of the bayou every day. So it's been like 8 people who've been pulled out of the bayou, but it's a total of like 23 dead people in the bayou, and they still looking. Most of those bodies are black, most men, mostly black women, and what they're saying is there's no problem down here. There's no problem. There's no serial killer. So they're not putting any resources. There's no surveillance in the area. There's no additional patrol in the area, nothing, because they're saying it's not a problem. Why are they saying it's not a problem? Because they're saying a serial killer usually kills people of the same age, gender, demographic, and because these people don't fit that, there couldn't possibly be a serial killer. But the killing started in Austin. So it's not just the murders here, it's also the murders in Austin. So people online, again, firsthand accounts, are saying there is a serial killer, but the police is pushing back and saying, no, it's not. And that goes back to what I'm saying. We have to police our own. Same way your niggas in the chat be trying to police me about criticizing Democrats. Police your community. You understand what I'm saying? Have you ever, when I was young, we used to go to Cabrini Green. When I was young, I used to be so militant and so excited to try to save black people. I would go to Cabrini Green and try to give out information to people in them housing complex. And then people would look at me and laugh, like, girl, if you don't go some damn where with that. And we still the same way. Unless white people involved, we do not care. It's the same thing you right now. You're upset that the white man has stepped in with the National Guard and doing away basically with constitutional rights to bring peace and safety to black communities where we don't have peace and safety because the police don't even take us seriously. The police was harming us.
May I suggest, it's a little disturbing to me that you can acknowledge that this is a stripping of constitutional rights.
It is.
But you're okay with it. But you're okay with it because it's a white man doing it. Had Barack Obama done this same thing,
I would have been clapping my hands.
No, this would be something that if we're talking about crime, you would be going back saying, now remember back in 2008 when Barack Obama sent the military and took away our constitutional rights? It wouldn't be okay with you. You know it wouldn't. Come on. Be honest.
No precedent. Listen, I don't give a fuck about Barack Obama. I know this y'all hero. I don't care nothing about him. He a war criminal like everybody else. He admitted himself he could have did better. Libya was his worst mistake, so he says. 30% of black wealth was taken out during his administration. He can be criticized. There's nothing wrong with criticizing President Barack Obama.
But so can the white presidents.
And Trump can be criticized. We knew, you told me that Project 2025 was real. That's what you told me.
Yes.
So we should be reading along to Project 2025, page 50, as black people saying, this is how we're going to respond to this. This is what we're going to do to protect ourselves to ensure that we don't get our constitutional rights stripped.
We don't even have to. You can acknowledge that he's stripping Americans of their constitutional rights. But because he white, you okay with it. You support it. You love it.
Saying that is not what I said. And now you're just mixing things up because you're pushing that stance. It ain't because he's white. No, Biden wouldn't have been able to get away with that. Clinton, when he did the 3 strikes and you're out, he really didn't get away with that. People criticized him all day long. Who else did something similar? Bush Jr., when he was arresting Muslims and everybody he considered terrorists and putting orange alerts on the country. Hell, Biden with the COVID-19 and putting us under we was under martial law for healthcare. So all of the presidents have that power, and it's not because Trump is white.
And you would say all of those, did you agree with those things?
Hell no.
But you agree with it when it's Trump.
I agree with it when it brings safety to our communities. Quit trying to make me into some white supremacist. The problem is
You're
the
saying it.
problem
I'm
is
not
us
saying
as
it.
a community. Listen, bruh, the problem is us as a community. Our people hate each other so much that even you said that what's his name, Pookie and Ray Ray. They don't give a damn if the National Guard is there. They still, for whatever they reason, they still gonna kill each other.
That's not a
So
black
that meant
thing. That's not a black
that's
thing.
not a who?
Same happens in
You
the white
the one who
community.
said Pookie and Ray Ray. I didn't.
Right.
You said that. Okay, so
Did
my
I say
thing
Pookie
goes
and Ray
back
Ray
to
was
how do
hold on.
you
Did I say
how do
Pookie
you
and Ray Ray
confront
was
white
black?
supremacy if you're complicit? How do you
Did I-
confront white
did I-
supremacy if
the
you're
Pookie
complicit in your
Pookie
own
and Ray Ray
destruction?
can be white. They can be Asian.
Pookie and Ray Ray
If two
would
people
be
want, if one
contributing
person
to
want to
white
kill another person,
inferiority.
the fact that the military is in that city doesn't stop it.
Yeah. What I'm seeing is people saying they feel safer, Emmanuel. I hate to tell you that. I hate to be the one to tell you that it was the Trump administration
That some
that
people
made
say
DC
they
safe.
feel safer.
I hate to tell you
I
that
acknowledge
Brandon
that some
Johnson,
people say that.
I hate to tell you that Brandon Johnson saying that he won't help ICE in his city, that he's not going to help them deport illegal aliens or whatever you want to call it, undocumented. I hate to be the one to tell you that Trump would be the one in the right in regard to Brandon Johnson. It would be Trump's administration that would be in the right in Memphis because you actually had an infanticide. The most murdered person in Memphis was under 7 years old. Black kids. You can't deny that we have a inequality in regards to the numbers. You keep trying to push white people on me. It's other people in the country.
Actually,
it's Mexicans here. They're killing each other
but
too.
you're not.
But
I
I'm
guess
gonna
we
end this,
just
and you can go ahead and push whatever you want.
we just
The point that I'm
disagree.
getting is
We disagree
black
on the
people-
root causes. You think the root causes is because black people are just somehow innately bad. I think there
I
are
didn't
other
say
root
bad.
causes.
I said our culture is hateful. Same way you can read through your comments right now. It's some hateful nigga right now type of something hateful.
And I guarantee
Just
if you
hateful.
go on some white podcast, there's some hateful white person saying something hateful about another white person.
White men got whole podcasts set up saying they're going to kill us any day now.
But they kill each other too.
Corey Bowman's whole.
But they kill each
Corey
other too.
Bowman's whole. They most likely do. You see what happened to Charlie Kirk? He got popped in his neck by a white man.
Right.
And so listen. So a Turning Point USA person would say the white guy who killed Charlie Kirk was acting in opposition to white supremacy because Charlie Kirk was pushing whatever he was pushing. It's the same thing for us. We are acting in opposition to our own selves when we fighting and killing each other and glorying in murder. We look I ain't gonna even say what I want to say, but somebody stood over a beloved brother of mine and said, look at this pregnant bitch. Gloried in his murder, gloried in his death. See, that's not cool.
But
As a
just
black
like
person,
a whole lot
we
of people,
supposed
a
to
whole
be
lot of
acting-
white people gloried in Charlie
I don't
Kirk's
give a fuck
death.
about them.
My point to
I'm
you
talking
is
about us.
you keep trying to make
Bruh.
black people worse than everybody else, but we're
It's
not.
not about
We're
being
all the
worse.
same.
It's about protecting yourself and working in opposition to white supremacy. You're not working in opposition to white supremacy by being enemies of each other. You're not working in opposition to racism by not creating businesses that we can rely on. You're not working in
You're
opposition
not working
to
in
Trump and all of
opposition
that
to white
stuff if
supremacy
you're not speaking out
by
against murder.
ignoring the horrible things that they do.
Man, anyway, I appreciate your time. I called in just to get that rise out of you.
I
I would
appreciate you.
appreciate if you, take the time to look around your community and find different ways that you can create some unity, some different way. And unity is not a joke. You can be unified. You can be a powerful group. It's not about demonizing you. It's about empowering you. It's about getting the warrior up out of you so that you stop sitting around being
I'm not
okay with what we're doing to ourselves, which is genocide. We are experiencing a femicide right now, which means that every five
I'm not
hours a
sure.
black woman is murdered. Don't shoot back at me about white women. I'm worried about the every fifth hour a black woman
Uh,
is murdered by
but
gun
see
violence in this
again,
country. That's a
if
problem
you
for
throw
us.
one
That's a
out
problem for
in an
me, my
attempt to
gender, and
make
my
black
race.
people look bad, then it is important to throw out the other to show that it's not that
I
we
don't
as
give a fuck
black
about how
people
it
are
looks,
this
Emmanuel.
or
You
we
know, do
as
you hear what
black
you're
people
saying?
are that. It's there is something wrong
Bruh,
with the human condition, and there are roots to these problems that we don't want to deal with.
it's not a human condition.
Of course
Everybody,
it
I don't
is.
think everybody human. Some of these people's is demons. In my own opinion, I mean, you can question humanity all you want, but it goes back to what I'm saying: to work together to oppose racism, work together to oppose white supremacy, and talking about our crime and the inequalities that we experience in regards to, the disaggregate number. We three times this and three times that. We should be working against that. We should, as a people, we should be saying, it's not too many of us left. We got to quit killing each other instead of saying, what about the white people? This make us look bad. Okay? And that's all I had to say. You have a good day.
I
Be
appreciate
good,
it.
Emmanuel.
And of course, I don't agree with her, but I appreciate her calling. I don't agree with everything that she said. I did agree with some of the stuff she said. Blade,
Hey, buddy.
how
How's
you
it
doing,
going?
sir?
Hey, that was a good, I guess, lecture or debate. I agree and I can go along, but I cannot agree and go along to hear a lecture from somebody that hate black men. Just point blank. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. This is my opinion. Every time I hear her, it always come down to she hate black men. It's all right for and she's a hypocrite and she contradicts herself. She wants the black community to be muzzled, trampled down, and watched by white people. But then, in the same breath, she's gonna say we should self-check ourselves. Which one is it? She says that we are being genocide. She quote white supremacy, but if I was colorblind, I could have swore I hear a white woman on the phone. I mean, it makes me throw up. Somebody try to lecture to you when really they hate black men. And I'm not gonna mention this guy's name. He has a podcast. I heard him 3 times, and I couldn't listen to him no more because I'm tripping off these people that lecture us, and when they hate somebody and they need therapy. There's one guy, I'm not gonna mention his name, but they don't like their father, but you're always talking bad about your father. I mean, I'm beginning to hear a lot of little Charleston whites on the internet and on the phone. He's a self-loathing, hate black people. The airways are being saturated by these people trying to lecture to black people, and they don't even like black people. It's begin to be sickening. Make me want to barf every time I hear them. They ramble and quote statistics and whatever, and then when you get down to it, it's almost like a preacher. Preach good, but at the end of their sermon, they're bumming for money. I don't want to hear Negroes lecture to us and don't like black men.
Can I say I don't know that I agree with your assessment?
Well, that's my assessment. That's my opinion.
Okay, and I don't know that I agree with it.
And if you can't hear it, something's wrong with your hearing.
Okay, I don't know that I agree with it. I would say I honestly don't believe that it's that they don't like black people. I don't believe that's the case. I believe
your last
that there
caller don't like black men.
I don't necessarily believe that to be the case.
Every time she quotes statistics, somebody being killed, she's saying they're being killed by black men.
But again, I don't think that's because she hates black men.
Well, that's my assessment.
Okay.
And you can't make me change against it. I've been hearing her for a couple of years, and at the end of the sermon, past the bucket, she hate black men. She passing around that she don't like black men. And she is right. There is a serial killer down in Texas. I don't know why Brent's not talking about it.
Well, hold on. I want to deal with the idea of a serial killer in Texas. Let's assume that's true. There was a point that was brought up that what white people do don't affect us, so we shouldn't be worried about it. Huh?
That's that Lincoln Ware talk.
But what if the serial killer is a white person killing black people?
I don't know. I just heard there was a serial killer. That's all.
Well, I know, but I'm
black or
saying
white
one of her points was what white people do, white people crime, don't affect black people. Well, first,
that's that Lincoln Ware talk.
Yeah, we all know that's not true. But
right,
even to further disprove that, because if there is a serial killer and you're dragging all of these black bodies, why are we automatically assuming that this serial killer is black?
Ask her, because she always think every time somebody black is being killed is by a black person, and necessarily don't have to be another black killing another black. But they, in their heads, they think it's, as she said, genocide, feticide, or whatever. That in America, black people, they killing themselves, and it's genocide. So when white people killing themselves, it's not genocide.
I would say yes.
Because let her tell it, black people in America are so self-loathing that we need help by the white man.
Okay.
Didn't she not say that down in Memphis and in Washington, D.C., people say they think Trump, they can walk the sidewalks now and have their kids come outside since...
that is what that's what she said. No doubt about it.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So, we are so self-loathing to her, it's almost like she would help white people put some black people back in slavery, especially if you're a black male.
And again, I don't agree
I get so
with
sick
you
and tired of hearing self-righteous Negroes trying to lecture to somebody.
Okay.
Okay, have a good one, man.
You do the same. Now, I don't agree that it's a hatred of black people, or in her case, a hatred of black men. Honestly, I don't agree with that. I think there are people who, y'all know I'm having a problem getting words today. There are people who believe the stuff that they hear, who somehow they're able to, take a fact or a statistic and believe a part of it and not believe the other part of it. I want to say it's a little bit of brainwashing, even though brainwashing might be too strong of a word. But I think if you've had maybe some bad experiences and then some, so you do have some level of bias, and then someone shows you statistics to reinforce that bias. It's not, I hate these people. It's, these people are in such a bad condition. They hate each other so much. They this, they that, because you believe the stuff that's being fed to you. You believe, hey, it don't matter what white people do. We're bad. Because you're presented with nothing but bad information about black. I mean, for real, think about it. Just think about it. If I present you with statistic after statistic after statistic about bad information about black people your entire life, and then you have a few bad experiences with black people, and then it reinforces what I've presented to you over and over and over, and I give you no bad statistics about white people, or if you get a bad statistic about white people, I tell you, don't, just ignore that. That's unimportant. I am planting an idea in your head that black people are bad. It don't mean you hate them. It just means that you believe what's been planted in your head your whole life. And then you have all of these other people, because there's a whole Like I said, it is a common thing. Black people kill black people all the time. You say, but white people kill white people too. Well, we ain't worried about them. That's not accidental. And there is an entire culture of, it don't matter how bad they are. We should only look at how bad we are. It don't matter how many bad things they do. It couldn't possibly affect us because we're so much worse. Now, I know some of y'all would say, Emanuel, you're describing self-hatred. And maybe that's what somebody wants to call it. I'm more leaning to the brainwashing aspect of it. And I can love my people, but have been so brainwashed to believe that they're the worst people on the planet and that they're the only ones that really need to be saved. And so I'm working as hard as I can possibly work to save my people because I love my people. But it don't mean I hate them, but I've been brainwashed. Hold on a second. So, yeah, I'm saying it's not necessarily hate. It's kind of misguided love. If that make any sense. If you believe that any bad that anybody other than black people do is unimportant, don't even speak about it. It couldn't possibly affect us. That's what they do. Y'all know how many times I've heard, y'all know, well, y'all don't know exactly how many times I've heard that. But what about white people? Well, I don't care about white people. It don't matter what white people do. I'm the boogeyman. White person doing the exact same thing. We don't care about that. And they don't think that mindset affects people. But I believe they genuinely believe it. They genuinely believe it. Lonzo Clark says some black man did her bad back in the day, and now she's mad at all of us. I mean, that's possible, but that don't mean she hate us in the, sense of that type of, like, I hate black men. But something might have happened that reinforced what I'm calling that brainwashing. I don't get the feeling when I talk to her that she hates me. I just get the feeling that we have a fundamental disagreement about the importance of looking at everything equally. Yeah, I got to get ready. I got to get out of here. That was Mrs. Livingston calling, and I had to call her back about something. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me, being patient and sticking with me through everything and, even just through today. I want everybody to, well, I was about to say get out and enjoy, but it's almost dark. I want everybody to enjoy the rest of your evening, all right? And if you interact with anyone else today, some people live alone and, they're not going to interact with anybody else. Okay. If you interact with anybody else today, be the reason that they smile. Until next time, I'm out, y'all. Peace.